welcome to the Kia Oval here on the Surrey live stream for the final game for both Surrey and the Hampshire Hawks in the group stage of the Vitality T20 Blast. We know our semi-finalists already. We know who will be at finals day here at the Kia Oval on Friday. It's just really now about Hampshire Hawks will be first in the table. It's really now about who finishes second, who finishes third, and who finishes fourth, because the way it works is first will play fourth and second will play third in the semi-finals on Friday. So it's an important game for Surrey, because a win today and they would finish second in the table. And we've all been discussing who gets home dressing rooms and who gets away dressing rooms. All that will be worked out in the coming week before Friday. Surrey coming off the back of an excellent win against Warwickshire, and Laura Harris with extraordinary innings, 81 off 32 deliveries with 9 fours and 6 sixes, and Bryony Smith made 54. Warwickshire batting first, 180 for 5, and Surrey knocked off the runs in 15 overs, so one with 5 overs to spare. But Surrey, as I say, sits second in the table at the moment on 33 points. Hampshire Hawks sit top on 40. The Surrey players down there getting ready to go out into the middle, and that will give you a good idea of the fact that Surrey, of course, are bowling first, because Hampshire Hawks winning the toss and deciding to bat on a beautiful day here in South London. Absolutely sparkling day, blue sky, sun's out, perfect cricketing conditions. Not quite as warm as it has been over the last few days, but as you can see there, absolutely perfect day for cricket. And Ella McCacken and Georgia Adams getting themselves ready to come out and open up for the Hampshire Hawks. Surrey unchanged from that side that beat Warwickshire. So Bryony Smith, Kira Chatley, Laura Harris, Jemima Spence, Phoebe Franklin, Alice Monaghan, Alice Davison-Richards, Kalia Moore, Rhianna McDonald-Gay, Danny Gregory and Bethan Miles. Delighted to say Kirstie White is alongside. And Kirstie, we've been discussing what this game means. Surrey in their huddle there. We've already talked about what this game means, but this is all about trying to finish second, isn't it? Because then, as I say, you get that semi-final against the side that finishes third. But we know that Hampshire will finish top, and Hampshire are a very, very good side, of course. And I think you're going to have to probably beat them, aren't you, on finals day to win it, as the fireworks go up, as Adams and McCacken make their way out to the middle. But from a Surrey perspective, they'd quite like to avoid meeting Hampshire again on Friday in the semi-finals, wouldn't they? Well, what we've got at the moment is the fact that 2 games going on at the moment. So Surrey playing later than everybody else today, so they'll have a much better idea of what they need to do, probably by half-time. I'll have a little look at the scores for you. Sustainability game today here at the Kia Oval, and crowd building up all the while, because of course Surrey's men play this evening as well against Essex, and Surrey men trying to book themselves a home quarter-final with a win tonight. So we are all set to get underway here at the Kia Oval, and as I say, important game this. Rhianna McDonald-Gay has the ball in her hands, and it's the first delivery McGacken, and she's in behind that and plays it very gently into the offside. It was a very good performance against Warwickshire, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it's one that was really overdue in terms of where Surrey have been and how they've been performing. But yeah, I think Laura Harris knows herself that she's probably not putting the performances with the bat that Surrey was expecting her to do, and that she would have expected herself. So I think there'll be a real confidence booster coming into this game today.
Yeah, and the way they chase those runs down against Warwickshire, first run of the afternoon. Yakin just opening the face and guiding that down to deep third. But the way they chased those runs down, very businesslike, wasn't it? And Laura Harris was an extraordinary innings. I sort of caught the first part of it, and with the whack bat, she certainly did some whacking, and it was 15 balls for her 50, I think it was. Ridiculous. First delivery for Georgia Adams, and Adams pulls this off her hip out towards deep backwards square. Kalia more quickly round to do the fielding, and Georgia Adams off the mark straight away. But as you can see, glorious day. I think we're on the pitch that we were using on Wednesday as well, so a couple of games on this pitch already on Wednesday, but it's played very nicely. And Laura Harris certainly enjoyed the pitch on Wednesday, as that's down the leg side. Wide will be the signal.
Yeah, I think I'd really like to see Surrey put these Hampshire batters under pressure really early. What we know about Ellen McCacken and Georgia Adams, if you give them a sniff of feeling their way into their innings, that they will then go on and put you under pressure. So early wickets are going to be key here, but also building dot balls and ensuring that they're restricting boundaries.
Got a slight problem with the ball here. I think the old nail scissors have come out there. Just clip something that had come awry on the ball. Little feint at this, just moved away a touch. McGacken again, just trying to run that one down to deep third. It looked like it might have been a slower ball, that, from Rihanna McDonald-Gay. Bounced once before it got to the gloves of Kira Chatley. McDonald-Gay, just a slight change in the field, just moving that cover ring, all four of them, about 5 yards to their left, as here is McGacken driving straight to backward point. And Laura Harris does the fielding. Is it my imagination, or is it not quite as warm today? It's hot, but it's not stiflingly hot today.
Yeah, it's perfect cricket conditions actually. A slight breeze coming across the ground, good amount of sun, not too hot. This is the kind of conditions that you'll be confident playing in.
Final ball of the first over, and bowled off the inside edge. And McGacken there again is just looking to run that down to third man, thick inside edge, straight back onto her off stump, and that is the perfect start for Surrey. McGacken gone for one, and I just spotted a gentleman in the crowd there behind the Surrey players wearing the most miraculous yellow safari shirt and yellow hat, and you might catch him again in a moment, but that's the perfect start for Surrey. It really is. And McDonald-Gay using her feet. McGacken definitely looking to run that down towards third. Big inside edge, straight back onto her off stump. So ideal start this for Surrey. Very fine opening pair, McGacken and Georgia Adams. McDonald-Gay has the wicket, and Abby Norgrove making her way out to the middle. But Kirstie couldn't have asked for a better start, Surrey.
Yeah, and I think that's what Surrey expect when they give Brianna McDonald-Gay the ball. She strikes. I mean, you've only got to look at her economy and her strike rate as a bowler. McCacken looking to give herself a little bit of room, and it just isn't there with McDonald-Gay. She gets a bit of drift and gets to hold her length and just couldn't quite force the gap. It was a good piece of captaincy from Bryony Smith. She'd brought that short third in and changed the angle.
We're going to have spin to get us started for the second over. Bethan Miles with the new ball from the pavilion end. And the first delivery cut away by Georgia Adams and won't get a run. Left arm around the wicket is Miles, and onto the back foot goes Adams, and again just cuts this straight out into the covers. Won't get a run again.
Yeah, Miles will be looking to bowl quite straight here, so she's got two sweepers out, long on and deep mid-wicket, so spinning the ball away from Adams.
Down the pitch comes Georgia Adams. That is out. Straight down long on's throat. And it's Alice Davison-Richards down there. And she's obviously very pleased with that. I don't know where she's going after taking that catch. High-fiving everybody, and then looked as if she was leaving the ground there. But that is a huge wicket again for Surrey. 3 for 2. And Georgia Adams' third ball, looking to loft Miles down the ground, and perfect field placement, the long on, and Alice Davison-Richards didn't have to move there, Kirstie.
Yeah, good buckets there from Alice Davison-Richards. They've done their homework on Georgia Adams. She likes to play down the ground, and it's a tempting boundary, this. If I had to get my tape measure out, I'd probably say it was about 55 metres. Very clearable. It's just tempting Georgia Adams into that shot. Some dot ball pressure. Pouched nicely from Alice Davison-Richards.
It sounded pretty good off the bat of Georgia Adams, but Alice Davison-Richards probably taking that 10 yards inside the rope. But the perfect start for Surrey this. Both the openers gone. Francesca Sweet is out there joining Norgrove. Extraordinary celebration as well from Alice Davison-Richards. As Miles, fourth ball of this second over, and Sweet's trying to whip this into the leg side, hits the pad, rolls away, and Kira Chatley comes round to do the retrieval work. There's always something going on with Alice Davison-Richards, but even for her that was an extraordinary celebration. I thought she was leaving the ground at one point, as this is short from Miles and Sweet will get off the mark. No, she won't. Cuts it straight into that cover ring again. And there is no run. So, one ball to go of this second over. And at the moment, Bethan Miles is on for a wicket maiden. Ooh, loopy full toss. And Sweet sweeps away. And will get off the mark with a single. But it's still a very good first over from Bethan Miles. The wicket of Georgia Adams. And 2 gone, Kirstie. 4 for 2, Hampshire.
Yeah, this is the exact type of pressure that we were talking about in the middle of the first over, that Surrey need to be really turning the screws here with Hampshire and collecting as many wickets as they can in the power play. What they can't afford to do now is get complacent and just stray on their lines and lengths and let Hampshire back into the game. They can pick up another wicket in this power play. There's still a lot of delivery still to be bowled, and this is an excellent deck. A rapid outfield. Margin for error is very, very small.
McDonald Gay with her second over. The third over, outside edge is there. Yes, Sweet's gone. 4 for 3. Hampshire Hawks. And Sweet looking to cut a ball that was too close to cut. Thin outside edge taken by Kira Chatley. And this gets even better for Surrey. And Kirstie, they'd have had their huddle. As I say, it would have been all talk about win, finish second. But this is a dream start for Surrey, isn't it?
Yeah, the second wicket of Rhiannon McDonald-Gay, and it just nips off the surface. She's not the kind of bowler that gets a lot of lift either. She is hard to cut. You have to play her with a straight bat. And that little bit of angle back in towards the off stump has just nipped back and caught the outside edge of Francesca Sweet, leaving them 4 for 3.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of scrambling for pads for Hampshire at the moment. And not the start that they were looking for in any way, shape or form. And Harman makes her way out to the middle. but 4 for 3. Hampshire Hawks, and worth reminding everybody, won the toss and batted first, which it's not a bad surface at all. We've been saying that, but drag on to off stump, lofted drive straight down long on's throat, and the outside edge. The 3 wickets so far. Harman's first delivery, driving down towards backward point, and there's no run. And the other thing that they're struggling with at the moment, Hampshire Hawks, is hitting gaps. They keep hitting that cover ring. So they're playing the ball firmly, but they keep hitting the fielders.
Yeah, 14 deliveries bowled and no boundaries yet. Only a couple of singles. And a wide.
Down the pitch comes Harman. And not really timing that at all. Looking to go hard at it again. And that rolls straight back to Rhiannon McDonald-Gay.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea from Harman. She's just trying to transfer a bit of pressure back onto this Surrey team.
As I say, at the moment, though, they're hitting the cover ring with unerring accuracy, the Hampshire Hawks batters. As this is not timed at all, or run-out chance as Davison Richards gets round to do the fielding. And again, that's made a horrible noise off the bat of Harman. Off the mark with a single. And Norgrove finally comes on to strike for the first time, but almost went straight to Alice Davison Richards, and then the chance of the run out as well. There's a little bit of panic out there at the moment for the Hampshire Hawks. I'm not surprised. Brain's a little scrambled. Hits the field again, driving to extra cover. Here's Norgrove. So as you say, Kirstie, 1 ball to go in this 3rd over. No boundaries yet. And that 5 for 3, there was a wide in there as well from McDonald-Gay. So we've only had 4 runs off the bat so far. And 3 down already. As again hits cover with the back foot punch, Norgrove. And it's the end of the over. Another good one from McDonald-Gay. 5 for 3 after 3 overs, the Hampshire Hawks.
Yeah, and I was just wondering what they were going to do next, Surrey, in terms of their next bowling change, and whether they were going to keep Bethan Miles on. Nancy Harman's incredibly powerful batter. She really likes to take on spin, so the change back to seam, bringing ADR into the attack, I think is a positive move. She's restricted, so she's got to be accurate. She's just got the 2 fielders outside of the ring now, and I think this is where potentially a Phoebe Franklin, if she was fit to bowl, obviously returning from injury, would be a really solid asset here for Surrey. But Alice Davison Richards looks up for her, as she always is.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And she will be bowling from the pavilion end, 4th over. And Harman, outside edge, gone. Great take from Kira Chatley. 4 down. 5 for 4. Alice Davison Richards has a wicket with her first ball. It's a lovely bit of keeping.
Well,
from Chatley as well.
I was nervous that Chatley started up to the stumps. Alice Davison Richards hasn't been the most accurate, particularly in power plays, but that's a fantastic delivery and absolutely the right thing to do. The method was to keep Nancy Harman in her crease and keep her grounded, and in doing so she's thrown her hands at a fairly loose delivery that probably should have been punished, and pouched really nicely by Kira Chatley. Hampshire in trouble.
Yeah, Nancy Harman slowly makes her way back to the dugout. But watch this bit of keeping from Kira Chatley. It's just a lovely bit of glove work. It really is very wide delivery to be going after. But as you said, you just can't keep Alice Davison Richards out the game. And it's a more orthodox celebration than her catch, that, from Alice Davison Richards. A punch of the air on that occasion. And Bryony Smith just pointing out what a good bit of work that was. But here we go, watch the... There we are. That's a more traditional celebration than we saw with the catch. Whereas I say, she was sort of calling the players to her to celebrate, and then ran off in completely the opposite direction. So Naomi Datani is out there in the middle. left-hander of course. Short first up from Alice Davison-Richards and pulled away by Datani. And it's a single, so just the 6th run of the innings in the 4th over. Naomi Datani is a very, very good player. Well, at the moment, as I say, there'd have been a bit of panic in that dugout and scrambling for pads and bats and gloves. But 4 down already in the 4th over. And we always say if you lose 3 or 4 in the power play, you're always going to struggle. Davison-Richards just slightly over pitch. Brilliant bit of work from Laura Harris, diving away to her right, driven firmly by Norgrove. Timed that really well, but Harris got down to her right, and again, a good looking shot, doesn't bring any runs at all for Hampshire Hawks.
That's incredible fielding there from Laura Harris. This is a very, very dry and very hard surface, so bodies on the line to get the job done for their team today.
She is a brilliant fielder. That's nicely driven. They just moved the field actually, got the sweeper out there for that. And Norgrove will pick up a single. 7 for 4. Hampshire Hawks won the toss, batted first. Lost both openers in the space of the first 2 overs.
I have to say, I was quite surprised by the choice to win the toss and bat. We know Surrey prefer chasing. I think Hampshire, if I was the Hampshire skipper, I'd have liked to put them under a bit of pressure.
Yorker, dug out by Tatani. Nicely bowled by Alice Davison-Richards. It's interesting that, isn't it? I've said it a few times with the Surrey men's side as well. I think they're better having a number in their heads when they go out to bat. I think at times, trying to put that number on, they slightly overcomplicate it. But I think when you're chasing, you've just got that number, and it does simplify it as Tatani driving once more up towards mid-on, and we'll get a single. Just a little misfield there. Just seeing that Lancashire have just beaten Durham. So keeping things simple.
That's a positive result
for
Surrey.
But keeping it very simple. Surrey just need to win, and they're off to the perfect start so far. 8 for 4 after 4. And I am delighted to say that alongside is Mr. Cameron Ponsonby. Good afternoon to you, young Cam. And, well, it's been all go here.
What a start.
Unbelievable start. Both openers gone in the space of the first 2 overs. It's going to be Rihanna McDonald-Gay. 2 for 4 so far off her 2 overs. Tatani drives off a thickish edge down towards deep third. Should get 2. Good work down there by Danny Gregory. Back for 2, and would you believe that's the first time we've had anything but a single so far in this game.
I feel like we've had a year of remarkable bowling performances. We had McDonald-Gay taking that 6 for earlier on in the year. She was on a hat-trick 3 times, I believe.
She was. I've never seen that before. Good, solid defensive shot that from Tatani. Playing that one back up the ground. So yes, Lancashire have beaten Durham. But as I say, to keep it simple from a Surrey perspective, it's just win this game. They can't top or finish first, but they could secure second spot. As Tatani swing and a miss. It's a horrible shot. Outside the off stump, good length delivery and trying to haul that through the leg. So she almost indicates as that kept a little bit low on her. I don't think it did. I just think it wasn't quite the shot to that length delivery, really. Now she's rehearsing driving through the offside. And just to explain again, those semi-finals, finals day here on Friday, it's first versus fourth and second versus third in the semis. As that's a lovely shot from Tatani. And it's our first boundary in the 5th over. So beautifully timed by Tatani. And it races to the cover rope. And we've had to wait until the 5th over for a boundary, and it was worth the wait. That's a lovely shot.
Well, there is that drive she was practicing. She used it to good effect. It's a difficult position for Hampshire to be in. Naturally, you're 4 wickets down. But also, if you're going to have any chance in this game, this is still the best time to make an imprint on the innings.
Well bowled by McDonald-Gate. Pushed straight back up the pitch.
I think as well, that's the first, we're basically a quarter of the way through the innings, and that's the first time a bowler's missed their length and a boundary's been scored. Quarter of the innings is gone.
Have you ever seen that before, Mark?
I
Church?
haven't. It's a row of ones. All 4 batters so far out for 1. Oh, this could be number 5 because it's a top edge from Datani, and Shatley very safe with the gloves, and Datani goes for 8. Remarkable start to this game. 14 for 5. It breaks the run of ones for the batters, but again she was trying to swing across the line there. We saw her do that in this over to the second delivery of the over. We've just seen her play a beautiful shot through the covers for 4, but she's going to try and haul that leg side, top edge, and Shatley with the gloves. And, well, Kirstie, this gets better and better and better from a Surrey perspective.
Yeah, I think if I'm the Hampshire captain and the head coach sitting on the sidelines, this is Rhiannon McDonald-Gay bowling her 3rd. Now she might bowl 4 straight through, but I think you just need to see her off. You've got to pick up the singles. You've picked up a boundary in the over. You've got to see her off and get out of the power play. Yeah, I think they'd expect Naomi Datani, with her experience, to be able to manage that, but sadly not.
Oh, Pippa Sproul's out there now. Goodness me. Do you know what? This has surprised me as much as when I was heading home on Wednesday evening, Kirstie. I was sat on the tube, and suddenly this young cricketer in all his gear sat down next to me. It was lovely to see you, Cam.
It was a lovely surprise. I spotted you from across the tube carriage. I wandered up, I perched down next to you before I said hello.
It was lovely to see you.
Well, Beth Miles is going to return to the attack. That's short. She get away with it, just cut to the ring. So the last over of the power play. And Surrey could not have hoped for anything better. What do you do if you're Hampshire from here? You're just stuck. Oh, big full toss. That'll help. But even then, it's only 1. Just about fielded in the deep. It was a bit of a tricky one, just skipping along the surface. Just reaching the fielder on the half volley.
Well, I think if you're Hampshire at the moment, you just try and get through and over without losing a wicket, because you've had a wicket every over so far.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, trying to bat 20 overs here. And you're asking a lot from a debutante at this end. I believe a debutante. In for Rihanna Southby.
What a time to come in.
Yeah.
On your debut, strolling out there at 14 for 5.
Another full toss, and this time it'll be 4. So Sproul is off the mark. She had recently just been playing in the World Cup for Scotland. On the one hand, it's a worst case scenario here. You're 19 for 5, 15 for 5 when you've come in. On the flip side, sometimes when there's maximum pressure, there's almost no pressure. She can only be a hero now. Miles in again. They're going to pinch a quick single. Fielded by Harris.
Yes, I remember in the men's game when Michael Vaughan made his Test match debut in South Africa, batting at 6, and walked out on Test match debut with England 2 for 4. And he said, actually, all the pressure disappeared.
Pinch another single, just pushing the ball up to long off. I thought both Hampshire's batters very good on their feet there, getting back in their crease when Miles just dropped a tiny bit short. Power play is finished. 21 for 5. 5 wickets in the power play. We are losing that run of binary digits in the scorecard, which was I was greatly enjoying. Kirstie, if you are Surrey now, what's the plan? Did you change anything?
Well, yeah, it's an interesting question actually, because I think traditionally what you'd do if you came out of the power play is you'd go straight to 4 out. You want to protect your boundaries, and actually that's exactly what's happening here. So game plan's staying the same. So Surrey clearly feel that they can continue to pick up wickets whilst having 4 fielders outside of the ring.
McDonald Gay is going to finish her 4 overs. So she's in for the last time. An almost clean bowler. Norgrove has to be sharp enough to get back. Kira Chatley was trying the old Alex Carey.
I think you just have to be absolutely brutal here if you're Surrey, and just try and finish this as quick as you can. You know, don't hang in there. Just try and knock Hampshire over.
I think as a batter, I'd prefer that all 4 were out. I feel like the pressure's off there a little bit.
Lifted. Will it beat mid-wicket? Yes, just. Very close to a 6th wicket there. The fielder thought she was in the game just for a moment.
Yeah, it's interesting, Kirstie, saying that. You would, wouldn't you? You would feel now, well, there are some gaps.
Yeah.
And a bit of that pressure has come off. Even at 22 for 5, a little bit of that pressure's come off. And we kept seeing them hit the fielders as well when they were all on the edge of the ring.
Edged. That'll fly down to deep third. Well fielded. Down on the rope.
And I think what Surrey will look to do here is say, look at all of these gaps you've got, and I'm going to continue to bowl and force you to hit those ring fielders. And that's how they're going to continue to build pressure, because there's nothing more frustrating as a batter when you can see all the gaps and you continue to hit those ring fielders. And McDonald Gay has been absolutely spectacular with hitting a length and a line today. Just like that.
Perfect. Perfect again from Rhiannon McDonald-Gay. Did you play yesterday then, after I saw you on Wednesday?
I didn't play, unfortunately. I was down at down at Southampton. That is the correct way to talk about it.
Oh, right.
Down.
Yes.
I was going to say up at Southampton.
Oh,
That'd be
right.
wrong.
Across
To Southampton.
Yes.
And watched Joss Butler and Harry Brooks score several thousands of runs between them. Shorts, and that's pulled around the corner. He's intercepted in the deep. They think about 2, but it's great work from Moore. Deep backward square leg. She's one of the kind of perennial boundary riders of this team. Obviously Alice Monaghan does it a lot. Rhiannon McDonald-Gay. Jemima Spence sometimes gets in on the act as well. I still remember that fantastic catch Spence took to dismiss Meg Lanning against Lancashire, diving forward. So last ball of McDonald-Gay's spell. Sproul on strike. Defended, no run. And McDonald-Gay's work for the afternoon is done way, way earlier than she'd have expected. 8 overs gone. She's bowled half of them. 3 for 13. And it's another fantastic performance from McDonald-Gay, who, given the England team is having a big period of transition. Yes, it's Tammy Beaumont and Heather Knight are batters, and they're leaving the setup. So it's not like flight in any way, shape or form. But with McDonald-Gay, with England looking to the future, you could do a lot worse than picking up the phone and giving McDonald-Gay a ring. There you see the scorecard. 4 single-figure scores, 4 single-digit scores, 4 ones is what I'm trying to say. Got there eventually. And Hampshire 24 for 5. So we can see Alice Monaghan into the attack. Norgrove on strike. 5 off 11. It's the same field that Kirstie White was referring to. Mid off, mid on, covering mid wicket tight, bowling nice and straight. Appeal for LBW. Kirstie White liked it in the commentary box.
It's high. I think it might have been a bit too high.
Norgrove got herself in a real tangle there.
That was quick. That's really rushed Norgrove there. We're not getting the lift out of this wicket, which is working really well in Surrey's favour, particularly for these seamers, because it means that they're bowling a heavy ball. So nothing is coming out of the middle for Hampshire, which, you know, when you're struggling to score runs is really, really mentally challenging. Kira Chatley's instantly come back as well.
I think about a single. Laura Harris has fired the ball into the non-strikers end and almost taken off Monaghan's head, to be honest.
She did quite well there. This one, just to say, the Blaze have beaten Yorkshire by 3 wickets, so I think that will bump Blaze up to 34 points.
Down the track, swing and a miss. Another shot at the stumps by Kira Chatley. I believe our producer George has summarised it very succinctly. The Blaze have beaten Yorkshire by 3 wickets, so they're now second, but it's still just win and finish second for Surrey.
Absolutely, because the table as we stand, you and we all are standing. Hampshire currently and will be top on 40. Now Blaze jump into second spot. You see, a point above Surrey.
Bit of width on offer, and that'll be 4. Second boundary of the innings for Sproul on debut, and tasked with the small matter of lifting Hampshire from 15 for 5 when she arrived, now to 29 for 5. But one of the great difficulties Hampshire have here is even if you go at 6 or let's say 7 and over until the end, you're only getting to just about 100, 110. And as we know from the Oval, any ground really, but particularly here, you need a lot more than that. On the money again. Just tucked away into the leg side for a single.
Well, to put that into context, of course, against Warwickshire, chased 181 in 15 overs.
I was heartbroken that Sky managed to pinch that game for the broadcast, and we didn't get to see Laura Harris.
It was spectacular.
Oh, goodness
it was
me.
Spectacular. Yes, I saw most of it, and yes, I was saying to Kirstie, the whack bat really did come in to force on Wednesday.
Lifted up. Chance for a catch in the deep.
She completely
Missed.
misjudged that.
And it trickles away for 4 as well. Looked like it just didn't quite settle underneath the ball. It's a very bright blue sky, and sometimes when that white ball goes up in beaming sunshine, it's very difficult to kind of keep track of where you and it is. It's a bad miss for Surrey. After 8 overs, it's 34 for 5.
Yeah, just watching Jemima Spence there. Hopefully we'll get the replay in a minute. As the ball's gone up, I was watching her positioning and where the ball is, and she's just not really got the depth perception on the ball, and she was too far away and left herself too much work to do. And it's so difficult to catch a white ball out of a blue sky when there are no clouds around, because you just can't gather the depth of the ball as it comes down. So you don't have an idea of how long you've got until that ball is going to be on you.
Well, Danny Gregory coming into the attack.
Is she wearing sunglasses out there?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so she's got cap and sunglasses on. But yeah, horrible, coming out of a perfectly blue sky. White ball.
I would say she lost it, but it didn't seem like she ever had it, to be honest.
Never looked comfy.
Gregory, a bit of leg spin into the attack. Nice start. It was almost a little bit slower than I normally associate with Danny Gregory. She often drives the ball into the wicket. Just a bit of air on that occasion. So Forefield is still on the boundary, long on in place. Bryony Smith, the skipper, perched at mid-off, as she so often is. Well, that was almost bowled. It was almost stumped.
Was it almost LBW?
Yeah, it was. I thought for a second Sproul had almost punched that back onto her stumps.
Down the track, lifted up towards long on. And safely on the bounce.
It's a nice start, this, from Danny Gregory. As you say, she is. She's just giving this a bit more air today.
With Norgrove on strike, long off. Long on has switched over to long off, so now mid on is in the circle. Nicely played by Norgrove, just getting back in her crease, punching the ball out to the cover sweeper for 1.
Yeah, really difficult this for Hampshire now. It's better than it was, but how are they going to put a total on the board that's going to challenge Surrey from here?
They do manage to take a single. For a moment I thought Monaghan was in the game there at mid-wicket, lurking to prevent the single. But another fantastic over so far for Surrey. Just 3 conceded. It's not just the wickets, Colin. It's not sometimes you see a flurry of wickets falling and there are boundaries flying everywhere as well. But here it's just been the former. Changing the field. Cover point has come up. Long on and long off or out. So Gregory will be looking to bowl as full as possible. Goes to reverse sweep. Again, just a bit more air offered by Danny Gregory. Leg byes given. 9 overs gone now. The score's 38 for 5. What else is there to comment on? Just Surrey, keep going.
I think Surrey they're making bowling look really easy, aren't they? They are Surrey of the season that we've had so far. We've seen lots of extras, sometimes missing line quite a lot, but there's nothing short of perfection here in this bowling attack, and the fielding has been sublime, as it has been all year. That's been one thing that's been consistent, but this bowling performance is one that Surrey have not quite nailed yet this season. So if you're talking about peaking at the right time from a bowling perspective, then Surrey are absolutely riding the wave.
Another bowling change. More spin on show as Moore comes into the attack from the pavilion end. Goes to reverse immediately, gets it. Well played by Norgrove. That's 4 runs. Premeditated. Knew that it was just Bethan Miles at backward point, so the short third, deep third region was vacant.
Well, it's just the 5th boundary of this Hampshire Hawks innings. Very nicely played by Norgrove.
She goes again. Almost a brilliant catch by Chatley. Just a bit of edge on there.
Ooh.
From Norgrove. Tantalisingly just kind of hovered in the air. See Chatley diving forward here. And she's got a hand to it. It just popped out of the webbing. Yeah. As her glove hit the ground. So a second chance goes down for Surrey. Beautiful shot, no run.
That would have been a brilliant catch from Kira Chatley. Great anticipation. But I think, as you say, when her elbow hit the ground, it just dislodged the ball.
Nicely played again by Norgrove. Just takes 1 out to deep mid-wicket.
It's a good crowd. I keep seeing that gentleman in his sort of yellow safari shirt with his yellow hat on as well. It's a magnificent attire.
Sproul goes to the sweep, gets it. A bit more proactive batting we're seeing here from Hampshire. They're going to this sweep against Gregory as well. We've seen the reverse sweep from Norgrove earlier on in the over, and this time Sproul walks across her stumps and gets it behind square.
Yeah, nice bit of batting from Sprout. She started very nicely here on her T20 debut for the Hawks.
Down the track for no run. So 10 overs gone, halfway in Hampshire's innings, and they are 47 for 5.
Yeah, Hampshire scored more in that over than they scored in their first 4. So it's a good, fruitful over. Sproul looks really good here. She's the only one that's striking above 100. Batting with lots of confidence, moving nicely around her crease. Just posing a few questions to Surrey, which is nice. It's good for them to be challenged. I think Danny Gregory bowled an excellent first over. I feel like bowling's always easier when it's coming out right. Important that Surrey now don't feel too under pressure to continue to collect wickets and just relax and carry on their innings.
Yeah, you can almost... So when you pick up early wickets, you almost feel like you should be taking a wicket every over, but that isn't really the case. They're still in a fantastic position, of course. Single there for Norgrove off the first ball of this Danny Gregory over. So Sproul comes back onto strike. But yeah, good crowding. Gorgeous day today. That breeze is making all the difference as driven back by Sproul. I think got a fingertip on that. Did Danny Gregory. And Phoebe Franklin doing the fielding there at mid-off. I should think it's a very pleasant day to sit and watch cricket today. As long as you brought your sun cream and your hat. There's single here for Sproul, just pulling that one out towards deep backward square. So yeah, this was used on Wednesday, this surface, so a couple of games already in this surface. Yeah, slap bang in the middle of the square as well. Reversing again here is Norgrove. That's very nicely played. That'll run away for 4. And that brings up the Hampshire Hawks 50. Coming up in the 11th over, 53 for 5. Very nicely played.
Yeah, and forced a fielding change as well there. Alice Monaghan now coming across from mid-wicket into short third to open up the leg side for Hampshire.
It's a good recovery this from where they were. Norgrove and Sproul are doing a very good job, as almost did Norgrove in the flight there. Gregory, but got bat on it, gets a single.
Just seems like idyllic batting conditions. Sun's out, 25, 30 degrees. And you look at the scorecard and you see 54 for 5. Doesn't quite add up.
Oh, swept away again. And this will be 4. Down to the fine leg boundary rope. So boundary off the final ball of that, the 11th over. Yeah, probably should have been stopped there at short fine. Got nothing on it, and over the rope it goes for 4. The thing with the wickets, though, thinking back, all out to attacking shots, weren't they? All out to attacking shots. So, kept going for it. Hampshire Hawks. But, as I say, Kirstie, Sproul and Norgrove are doing a really good job here. They've got a long way to go, but it's a recovery of sorts at the moment.
Yeah, they've picked the deliveries to attack, and I think that's what Hampshire came out with, that intent to score and put the Surrey bowlers under pressure. You have to have the awareness of just what's happening on the wicket and what the bowler you're facing is capable of doing. And actually sometimes just respecting and how well somebody's bowling.
Alice Davison-Richards back into the attack to bowl the 12th over. And there's a single straight away for Norgrove. And Monaghan came round and flicked the ball, hit the stumps. Just for a second I thought there might be an extra run.
I wonder how Bryony Smith is feeling at the moment, because Surrey obviously had the perfect starts. But actually in the last kind of 5 overs, they've been a bit sloppy, Surrey. We've had a number of misfield, a couple of dropped catches. They'll just want to kind of turn back on and make sure they kind of make this the perfect win they're after.
Well bowled by Davison-Richards.
Yeah,
Good length delivery.
I always think the measure of a good side is not what they're doing when things are going well and when the wickets are falling and when they're bowling dot balls, but when there is a lull, it's that response. And that's what's going to be really important here for Surrey is, 1, how many runs are they going to allow Hampshire to score? And 2, what is their mentality going to be whilst those runs are being scored and how they're being accumulated?
This one is drilled down the ground, another misfield, and away for 4. So Alice Monaghan got across to that, but again, should have been fielded, and they pride themselves on their out cricket. Sorry, but again, it's another bit of fielding that won't go into a highlights reel. That for Alice Monaghan. This will be annoying Johan Myberg at the moment, I would have thought. Short this time. Top edge, pull out towards deep backward square. It bounces way in front of Jemima Spence, who saw that one. Okay. And that, I think, is the 50 partnership from these two. And as I say, in the circumstances, it's been a very good one. But I think Surrey have taken their foot off the accelerator here. And that pressure's just gone away a touch. It's well bowled and tucked away by Norgrove into the leg side, out towards deep mid wicket. Another single. But yes, partnership is worth 51.
Well, Sproul's ticking along really nicely, 27 off 21. And with these misfields from Surrey, Hampshire just gathering a tiny bit of momentum.
It's driven down the ground by Sproul. It's well bowled by Davison Richards, followed her because she stepped outside that leg stump. And Davison Richards followed her across to the leg side. So 8 overs to go. There we are, look. Lovely day for it. And very sensible use of your 4 and 6 signs there. Those two gentlemen using them as fans, which is very, very good use of your 4 and 6 signs. There's a bit of Bon Jovi as well. Oh no, not Bon Jovi, Whitesnake. Great song.
One of your favourites?
Yes, one of my favourites.
Absolutely.
One of my favourite groups, soft metal groups, young Cam. But Wednesday, of course, was Retro Day as well here. Ah, it's
Lovely.
Magnificent. The old 2003 Surrey Lions shirt was out in force from the first year of the T20. Start of the 13th. And Kalia Moore from this Vauxhall end.
Did you partake in Retro Day?
Well, I did. Every day for me is Retro Day, Cam. I just opened the wardrobe and the clothes were already there. But I have to say, it was a great idea. And it was rather lovely to see the old 2003 Surrey shirt. They've had some shockers as this one's turned into the leg side and they'll pick up a single.
I have a long sleeve Surrey training top I'm very fond of. I reckon from around 2011.
Right.
Kind of like silver in as a blue Adidas trim.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
And they've got the little thumb holes as well.
Yes. Well, I never really knew what those were for. As pulled down the ground, Kirstie's looking at us as quizzically there.
What did you think they were for?
Well, I didn't know, really.
I think I agree with Church a little bit here. And I know that they're for my thumbs to go in,
yes.
But why do I need them there?
Yeah, that was because I always thought once I worked out what they were for. Well, someone told me this is a good shot. Swept away by Norgrove, and over the boundary rope, and away for 4. So nicely played by Norgrove. Again, gets way outside that off stump to sweep that off to the boundary. But yes, and then I thought to myself, well, is it in case there's a strong wind and if I haven't got my thumbs in it's going to blow off? But then I thought that it can't be for that, surely. Driving. Norgrove straight out to extra cover. Bryony Smith does the fielding there on the edge of the circle. But yes, it was an excellent idea. Retro Day. And lots of people came in their retro clothes in the crowd as well. Clipped away. Down the ground for a single. Davison Richards does the fielding, keeps hold of the ball. Looks like she's going to continue from the pavilion end. So we've got 7 overs remaining. 74 for 5. It's difficult to see Hampshire getting enough from 74 for 5, but it was far worse when they were 14 for 5.
This is a very popular shirt at the moment. you're seeing on screen, the kind of green and white
Stripey.
striped. Yeah.
Ah.
And it's just got to the point where I've seen it so much that I now don't want to get it because I feel like I'm just following along.
A little bit like a deck chair. That gentleman in his green and white striped
A very
linen.
fine deck chair.
Very nice deck chair. Green or toothpaste. Linen that would have been on a hot day like today. Alice Monaghan back into the attack. And having a cut here is Norgrove. Wide will be the signal. That looks a little harsh. But the arms go out. One more to the total.
I'd like to see the replay of that again. It didn't feel as wide as it was. Maybe it carried on going, I don't know. But I think one thing Surrey will be starkly aware of is batters still to come. Amanda Jade Wellington, who can do damage. Daisy Gibb has been a bit of a pinch hitter towards the back end, and so is Poppy Tulloch. So the job, if they take another wicket, is by no means done.
That's pulled firmly by Norgrove. That made a lovely sound off the bat. One of those that if you shut your eyes and hear that, you know it's going to the boundary. Just a little short in length and pulled it away from outside her off stump. Great shot. Firmly struck. So this partnership now up to 65 it's worth.
I just feel of all the bowlers that Alice Monaghan is really just trying to run in and bowl as fast as she can, which is great, but lacking a little bit in accuracy, where the other three seamers have just been really consistent. Better.
Yeah, nice looking shot again from Norgrove. Won't get a run. Up to Bryony Smith at mid-off. But she's had a great summer. Alice Monaghan really has.
More than useful Monaghan.
More than useful Monaghan.
As you dubbed her.
Absolutely. No, she's a terrific cricketer. She really is. Norgrove down the pitch again. Hits the fielder out at extra cover. So, again, Norgrove using her feet. To Monaghan.
I think Surrey will be, of course, frustrated with how the last 6 or 7 overs have gone from a fielding perspective in particular. But the strength of the position they've got themselves into now, even if Hampshire go at 10s, they're only getting up to 140.
Punched away by Norgrove, out to extra cover, quick singles taken, the throw on the half volley. And Kira Chatley got gloves to it, took a bit of pace off it, and Danny Gregory did the rest backing up.
It's an extraordinary kind of salmon-like footballer's dive there from Kira Chatley, kind of diving towards the ball to try and scoop it up off the half volley.
There's my gentleman in his shirt with his yellow hat on.
I don't know, how did you spot him?
Well, it's a matching hat to go with the shirt. Magnificent. Oh, that's one. And Sproul's just tried to whip that leg side. It's nicely bowled by Monaghan. Thick inside edge onto that front pad. I would hazard a guess that in T20 cricket, this is the highest partnership for the 6th wicket in games between Hampshire Hawks and Surrey. I can't believe that there's been
one of the finest statistics you've come across, really.
Thank you very much indeed. Sproul backs away outside that leg stump again. Monaghan follows it, pops it into the offside, takes a single. So after the boundary, good over from Monaghan. So 6 to go. 81 for 5. Kirstie, you know what I'm going to ask you? What would Hampshire be happy with from here? What can they get off this last 6 to make life a bit tricky for Surrey?
I think if Hampshire can get 140, they will be ecstatic, and Surrey will be disappointed. Maybe also a little bit embarrassed, potentially, from the position that they've been in. But it's a good deck, and we've got to remember where we are. And it's definitely a deck that both sides need to bat on. So, yeah, 140, I think, Hampshire will be happier with, particularly considering the position that they started in.
Well, Bethan Miles, who opened up, he's coming back into the attack spot. A couple of overs so far, 1 for 8, as you can see, her figures. And straight away, down the pitch goes Sproul and is caught by Alice Davison-Richards down at long on. And Sproul's innings comes to an end on 31. The partnership is broken. It's a good one between Sproul and Norgrove, worth 67. But that's the 6th wicket. And 81 for 6.
It's good bowling from Miles. Her field, she has long on and long off in position. There's no cover point out, which means she has to insist or kind of encourage the batters to hit as straight as possible. Not much pace on the ball, lifted, full of a length. And a simple catch for Davidson-Richards. A happy breakthrough for Surrey, who just feel a little bit better with themselves after a scrappy few overs.
Yeah, really scrappy few overs. Bethan Miles has been excellent. She's picked up a wicket. Wickets consistently. Just 2 for 8 now. What Sproul was trying to do was trying to hit that gap between long on and deep mid wicket, but just couldn't quite get the angle on it. Just drifted. Bethan Miles is a slower spinner, so she has to then generate the pace off the bat as well. So she wasn't clearing the rope. She needs to try and hit those pockets and didn't quite execute that shot. Good innings though.
Yeah, it was. And as I say, that partnership with 67. Amanda Jade Wellington out there now. Cutting her first delivery out towards the cover point boundary rope. And that will just be a single. So off the mark straight away. Thank you to John Surtees, because I was saying today's game, sustainability game. So he's sent me some sustainability facts about the Kia Oval. And my favourite is this, because I never knew these existed. And this is brilliant. Cut away, out towards extra cover. And there's no run. So here at the ground, there are bug hotels and bird boxes. Bug hotels. So bug hotels and bird boxes inside the Kia Oval. Ooh, that's a loopy full toss from Miles. This might well be a no ball, and it's gone to the boundary rope for 4. Yep, that will be a no ball and a free hit. So that one didn't come out right at all by Bethan Miles, and nicely put away for 4, but now the free hit as well. So yes, bug hotels.
I can guess what they are.
Somewhere for bugs to go.
Yeah, but only briefly, not permanently.
And bird boxes. And there's educational information to tell people about their importance as well. Terrific stuff. As this is driven down the ground towards long on. And one more to the total. I've stayed in the odd hotel that's had bugs, I have to say, over the years, but I'd never heard of bug hotels. That's a great thing.
City boys, hey?
Yes, as driving. Wellington out towards extra cover. So as usual with the free hit, not a great deal happened. They're normally very anticlimactic, the old free hits. That's nicely bowled by Miles. When Amanda Jade Wellington tried to get down the pitch to it, just took a little bit of pace off that one, I think, and tucked away into the leg side. So, wicket off the first ball of the over, 15 gone, 5 left, and Hampshire Hawks 89 for 6.
Runner ball takes them to 120.
Still not going to be enough, is it, on this pitch with this Surrey batting lineup?
Yeah, certainly going to need more than 120, but I think if they'll probably feel if they can have the start that Surrey have, that they're in the game, but we'll just have to wait and see.
So it looks like Moore's going to come back into the attack from the pavilion end. We've had some information about what a bug hotel is.
Excellent.
I can tell you, a bug hotel is an artificial structure built to provide safe shelter, nesting and overwintering sites for beneficial insects. What's the opposite of beneficial insects?
An unbeneficial week.
Unbeneficial insect.
Wasps and mosquitoes.
There we go. Yep. I'm
In my opinion, that's
They're
not fact.
unbeneficial.
Here comes more. Good use of the feet by Wellington. Turns it into a full toss.
Oh, thank you very much, Kirstie. She's found a
You've
couple
never
of bug
seen
hotels.
a bug hotel.
No, I haven't. I never knew they
Absolutely.
existed.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
You'll
lovely.
spot them everywhere now.
Yeah.
Wellington goes to the reverse. They scamper through for a single. Well, they just kind of, they looked more normal than I was anticipating. They looked kind of just like a tree house for bugs, like a bug hotel.
Like a bug hotel.
I'm all over this now. That reverse sweep has prompted a change of field, and counterintuitively, backward point has come up into the ring. Long off has gone out. Norgrove on strike. Now she gets the conventional sweep out. She swept incredibly well this innings. Both her and Sproul having both options to go reverse or conventional. I always enjoy it when the batters kind of get outside the line and really try and hit the ball behind square. So Wellington back on strike, and backward point does drop back out. Use of the feet again. That'll be 4. Same again. She just saw it get above the eye line. Skipped down the track, turned it into a full toss, and that's 4 runs.
Yeah, lovely footwork. Very positive. Picked it up on the full. Driven through the covers for 4. Still looks a good surface, doesn't it? 95. It's not a 95 for 6 surface, really, this.
Short. I think Moore might have just dragged her length back there, seeing Wellington coming again. Score ticks over to 96. I think I'm always jealous of professional cricketers at some level, but particularly on days like today where you get to spend your afternoons batting in the middle at the Kia Oval. Looks like an awful lot of fun. Norgrove just gives herself a bit of room, powers that ball through the offside. She's got such an elegant kind of textbook straight drive, very high elbow. 16th over comes to an end. Norgrove's on 41. Wellington, new to the crease, is on 8. And Hampshire, with 4 overs to go, and 97 for 6. Who are we going to see with the ball now? Well, Miles finish her set. You can see a cap coming off. I believe that's Davidson Richards coming back into the attack. For some seamers.
There's a wide variety of hats today in the crowd. Nice straw hat there. I like a straw hat.
I've been seeing you have a Stella Artois cord
Yes.
cap.
Oh yes, it's
And
in my
I've been
rucksack.
seeing
They're
that
everywhere now.
popping up at Wimbledon a lot.
Well, there is a Wimbledon.
Very Wimbledon.
Yes, very Wimbledon.
I liked the idea that they all saw you wearing it first. ADR into bowl. Norgrove hoiks that into the gap on the leg side. They should get back for 2. They do. Smartly fielded in the deep.
I have to say, I saw a chap in his Stella Artois hat yesterday in Esher.
They're all the rage.
Frequenting a coffee shop, and there he was.
They're all the rage.
They do look good, I will admit. They are quintessentially Wimbledon.
Yes, they are, aren't they? Old Arthur did well, didn't he?
Oh,
Very.
Just
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'm not a massive tennis fan, but I enjoyed getting into it kind of annually. And just being sat at home going, oh, pop the tennis on. I was able to get a bit emotionally
men's
invested in
final this
Arthur Ferry.
afternoon?
It is indeed. It's
Yeah.
probably starting about now. Tucks into the leg side again. Hampshire looking just to find those pockets. But just the one on this occasion. And that brings up the Hampshire 100. A polite ripple of applause, I'd say, from what's an increasingly healthy crowd here at the Kia Oval. I imagine we've got a few thousand in currently. 3,000 people in at the moment. I was spot on. If it had been 4, I'd have also said I was spot on.
Very precise number.
Davidson Richards, that's a beautiful slower ball. I was about to call it a full toss, but the dip she got on it, yes, it's given us a wide. Davidson Richards not happy with it. I still think the skill's on show. Was that back of the hand? Was that a cutter?
I think it was back of the hand, wasn't it? A bit dipped. Lovely bit of bowling, and then gets wided for it. But no, nice bit of bowling. That 4 o'clock this afternoon, the men's final in the tennis. So stay with us and then watch the men's final.
Oh,
no.
big full toss. That's really well played by Wellington. She's ramped that up and over short third. She'll only get 2 off the bat. That will be a no ball and it will be a free hit. Am I mistaken? I feel like I remember Davidson Richards doing that earlier this season as well. Not the first time we've seen her do it.
Yeah, whatever that was meant to be didn't come out quite right from Alice Davidson Richards. And free hit. So she might not try that particular delivery again.
3 fielders out on the leg side boundary. Slur ball again, this time lifted up over mid-off and gets 4. So on that occasion the free hit did pay dividends, and it's an expensive over so far for Surrey. 10 off with 1 or 2 balls remaining. There was that back of the hand slur ball again, but this time it just went down, straight down into the surface and gave Wellington plenty of time to pick her spot. So 3 balls left in the over. 10 runs conceded already. Wellington gives herself room and finds the sweep. That's a well set field from Surrey. They always are doing their plans and making sure they know where their fielders are for the right batters, in the right places for the right batters. And there's kind of an unusual sweep position, right on square. I imagine that would be a Wellington specific decision. Norgrove on strike again. She's on 44. Wellington goes deep into her crease, long on in the game, just lands short. Phoebe Franklin does the work, so just 1 more run scored. So Davidson Richards can just get out of this over with one run scored or a dot ball here. It won't be too damaging. It's been an eventful over.
But the 140 that Kirstie was talking about is on now from a Hampshire point of view.
Well bowled by Davidson Richards. Just followed Wellington. She looked to give herself some room. 1 run scored. So 17 overs completed. The score's 111 for 6. So 29 off the final 3 overs. And they will get to that 140 mark.
And that would do that Hampshire dressing room the world of good in terms of coming out with their tails up and feeling confident and backing their bowlers. It's by no means a total that we've seen defended here often at the Oval, but it's runs on the board that from the first 5 overs you'd have put a lot of money on Hampshire not getting to. So they've dug deep, batted sensibly and built a good partnership, got themselves into a better position. Surrey will be looking to minimise that final total as much as they can.
Well, the Brains Trust just had a meeting there. It was Kira Chatley, Bryony Smith and Laura Harris. And after the Brains had a think, they turned around to Danny Gregory and said, "It's you now." So Danny Gregory sprinted over from short fine leg, taken off her cap. She's going to have a bowl from the pavilion end. You'd imagine 140 would still be incredibly light.
But it's something, isn't it?
It's something you've got to get them.
Well, at 14 for 5, even 111 looked a long way off for Hampshire.
Beautiful use of the feet from Wellington. 1 bounce over the rope. It's fantastic batting from Wellington. I always feel like whenever I see Wellington, she's always batting about 3 positions lower than I'd anticipate her to be.
That was a gorgeous shot. It really was.
It's a very languid swing of the bats, and it's prompted a field change. So cover point has come up into the circle. Long off has dropped out. Kirstie, you're shaking your head.
I'm not sure. Jade Weddington, she really likes to offer herself width. She's caused Surrey so much damage over the years through that offside boundary. If it was me, I think I would have brought the square leg up and kept that cover point out to then have that long on. I think she definitely needs the long on, but that coming round the wicket, now changing the angle, makes that a little bit more difficult with the width.
And still, somehow, she manages to cut a ball. That's probably even missing leg stump. Giving herself room, looking to sieve the ball through the offside. So she's playing dot ball or 4-run cricket at the moment, Wellington. It's an unusual field and angle we're witnessing here. The leg spinner coming around the wicket to the right-hander. She goes for that reverse, gets it, full toss, 4 runs. Fantastic batting from Wellington, who's just got Surrey in a little bit of a tiz here. They don't quite know what their plans are, what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and really it's been, as Kirstie was saying, the way she's played has forced the Brains Trust to get together to try and come up with something. And just in a bit of a pickle there, and reverse swept for 4.
Well, I imagine she'll go again. The field stayed the same. She's shown what she wants her plan to be. And away she goes. Does go for that reverse sweep. They just pick up a single.
I'm going to, at the end of this over, give you another sustainability fact.
I'm very excited for it.
Oval.
If you're wondering what's happening at Lords between India and England, India are now 456 ahead. Still got 3 wickets in hand.
Be a good chase from there, wouldn't it, from England?
Sophie Eccleston has bowled an extraordinary amount of overs today. Pretty much bowled the whole day. Down the track, that's a beautiful cricket shot. It will just be 1. But it was worth more. It felt like more off the bat. So Norgrove moves on to 46. This is her highest score of the blast this season. 4 more runs. She'll have a very well-deserved half-century. Last ball of the 18th over. Reverse again from Wellington, and 1 run scored again. So, 2 overs to go at the Kia Oval. Scores 122 for 6. Wellington. It's one of those double-edged cameos, I feel, where on the one hand it's giving Hampshire a little bit of hope, but it's also probably giving a truer representation of the wicket and just how far short of par Hampshire are. There's a big cheers gone up around the ground as the stadium support services have flashed up in the big screen. I don't think those two things are related.
No, I think the announcement from the gentleman on the microphone was for everybody to cheer and clap.
Oh, there we go.
And they followed those instructions to the letter.
I thought they
Here
were...
we are. So here at the Kia Oval, the Kia Oval's waste to incineration powered over 13,000 homes per day last year. It's extraordinary, isn't it?
I'm going to need you to read that one to me again, actually, in a second. Moore comes into the attack. Big full toss, and goodness me. A bottom edge has then almost nutmegged Chatley, who's managed to gather herself, pick up the ball, go for the stumping, but Wellington's back just in time. So a lot of cricket there for a dot ball.
So yes, the waste incineration powered over 13,000 homes per day last year. There you are.
And that's happening here at...
The Kia Oval's waste to incineration powered over 13,000 homes per day.
Well, Wellington goes for the reverse sweep again. I've got some help from producer / leader John Surtees. Waste to incineration means burning waste instead of putting it into a landfill.
Yes.
It generates power when you do that. We then send it on barges up the river to power stations. I knew that.
Isn't it?
Down the track. Again, that beautiful, languid swing of the bat from Wellington. Just 1 run, though. And naturally, you would sending it on barges because they're the more sustainable option
Oh, absolutely.
than bin lorries.
And a bin lorry. Probably a nicer way to go as well if you're the waste.
I'd
And in
say
the
so.
back of a lorry on a barge going up the river.
That'll be 1 run again. Davidson Richards does the fielding. That was a great day out. I used to go to the skip down in Wandsworth with my dad.
Oh yeah, lovely.
You know that. You must have been to that.
Oh yes, nothing like
Smuggler's Way. That's the road it's called.
Yeah.
Down the track again, lifted up. They might get 2 here. They might even get 4. No, well fielded by ADR. And such was the kindness of the bounce. Kept Hampshire to 1 run. So just 3 runs scored so far from this penultimate over. India have declared, by the way.
Ah, there you
so
go.
they've set England 457 to win. Big sweep. Again, just 1 run. Really well bowled by Moore, who'll be very, very happy with that. Just 4 runs scored from that over. Hampshire 126 for 6, with 6 deliveries remaining.
Well, you have to say, from 14 for 5 to get yourselves up to 126 for 6 is a good effort. I think Surrey will be a little annoyed. From 14 for 5 to 126 for 6. But what can Norgrove and Wellington find off this final over?
So it's going to be Bethan Miles to bowl the final over. And again, we have that field we see for Miles very often. The offside ring is in the ring. And they're going to force them to hit straight like that. It's powerfully played by Norgrove. And she is able to get back for 2. And so that will be a first half century of the season. It's been a lovely innings from Norgrove. 44 balls. And she had to kind of both rebuild and then push on this innings. It was a rescue mission at first. She's given her team a lifeline.
I'm going to use one of the sillier phrases in cricket, but
Yep.
everybody knows what it means. It's worth more than that 50 from Norgrove, but obviously you don't get any more than the 50.
Full toss. And again, they think about 2. They say no. I'll be interested to see if Wellington being on strike will force a change of field here, because she will look to go to that reverse. It looks like everyone's staying put for the meantime. A bit harder to reverse sweep Miles because she bowls that bit slower. Same field. Full toss lifted into the leg side and just lands short of Phoebe Franklin. So again, just 1 run scored.
I think Phoebe Franklin did really well there. Came sprinting in, it bounced just in front of her, and she did well to get hands on that and control where the ball was going.
Sweetly struck from Norgrove. It's just about fielded in the deep, but again, 1 run scored. We haven't seen a flurry of boundaries towards the end of this innings. So it means Surrey will continue to be happy with their work so far. 50 partnership between these two, and it's come in quick time. 29 of 21 for Wellington. She goes to that reverse again, bowled. Just gets a tiny bit of bat on it and plays on. It's a fine innings from Wellington. Lifted Hampshire up to a total that they'll have a chance. They'll have an outside hope of potentially defending, but it comes to an end. It's been a fantastic spell of bowling from Miles. A 3rd wicket of the afternoon. And Kirstie, we saw Miles make her debut here earlier this year. I felt like she had a slightly nervous start, sometimes the ball not quite coming out the way she'd have intended it to. But here she's been fantastic. 3 wickets and a great economy rate of about 5 and over as well.
Yeah, I think this is the Bethan Miles that Surrey have been hoping to see. She's been coming out to bowl. She definitely had... she can be quite a nervous player, so to see her settle into her bowling innings and open the bowling and bowl the way that she has today has been spectacular. She's not an easy bowler to face because she gets quite a bit of drift, and she's definitely a little bit slower than a lot of other left-arm spinners, so you've got a lot of time to think. I know it's been an excellent bowling performance from her today. For 3 for 21 so far.
So, Tulloch, given the joy, the honour of facing the final ball of the innings, I've always thought it's the worst job.
Oh, it's a thankless task there.
Nothing to gain, everything to lose. I suppose 6
Unless
runs
you
to gain,
stick
possibly.
it in the middle tier of the pavilion for 6.
Skips down the track, and they'll come back for 2. They might get 2 here. Franklin does the fielding in the deep. Appeal for run out and given very quickly indeed as well by the square leg umpire. And so just one. Phoebe Franklin rounds off Surrey's innings with a fine bit of work in the outfield. And Tulloch's innings, well, she's 1 off 1, dismissed. And Hampshire, they finish on 132, which means for Surrey to lock in their place at finals day, well, more to the point, that second place position, it's 132 to win.
Yeah, and I think if you'd asked Surrey at the toss, Kirstie, right, you'll be chasing 133, I think they'd have said thanks very much, we'll take that. But when you've had a side 14 for 5, then they'd have probably been hoping to be chasing a little fewer than that, but they'll still settle for that, won't they, on this surface with their batting lineup, to be chasing 133.
Yeah, and I think they'll do well to remind themselves of that, actually. You know, yes, you know, you got off to an absolute flyer and, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, who knows. But, yeah, that is a total that is chaseable, the batting that they've got, so it's just about getting the job done now today. It's not about going and chasing bonus points. So go through the cards.
Yep, and, well, 14 for 5, as I say, they were in all sorts of bother, Hampshire. There's the bowling figures for Surrey. McDonald Gay outstanding, 3 for 13. Bethan Miles, 3 for 22, 1 for 25 for Alice Davison Richards, and then a couple of run-outs in there as well. But, yeah, the partnerships between, on a debut, Pippa Sproul, and then Abby Norgrove played very well, and Amanda Jade Wellington. Norgrove finished with 52 to her name there. And Tulloch run out by Phoebe Franklin off the last ball of the innings. So it'll be 133 for Surrey to secure second spot for finals day here on Friday, of course. And just to reiterate, first place fourth in one semi-final and second place third in another semi-final. So we will be back with you for that Surrey run chase here on the Surrey Live feed. But now we're going to have the Kia High Catch, the traditional, I love the Kia High Catch. It's the traditional halftime entertainment where, well, today it's going to be Surrey kids out there, and they'll be trying to catch tennis balls fired from just down below us in the JM Finn stand. And it's quite a strong breeze today. That's always the key thing. How strong is the breeze trying to catch that tennis ball? Because if it gets caught on the breeze, it's pretty tough. But we'll be back with you for Surrey's chase in a few moments' time here on the Surrey live stream. But yes, have a watch of this, the Kia High Catch.
Thanks to our friends at Kia. Lots going on during the intervals of today's matches. As I mentioned, you have got the Kia Masterclassers making their way around with those free t-shirts, but also pay attention to what's going on at the Vauxhall end on the outfield, because I believe our host Stu is there with some very special guests for today's Kia High Catch.
So I'm on the pitch here, ready for the Kia High Catch Challenge, and I'm joined by a group of individuals who may be very familiar to you. They are our Guard of Honour. They're the future of cricket stars I've got behind me, and they're from the Dynamos and the All-Stars ECB Bursary Place participants. Now, guys, we've given you a little run through what you need to do. We've got Adam at the top there. Give us a wave, Adam. Adam's got the balls there. He's going to fire out one, and you've got a chance individually to try and catch that ball. Bearing in mind the wind as well, so we're going to get you in position one at a time to try and catch the ball that's going to be fired out by Adam. So this is the Kia High Catch Challenge. It's going to be, is it Jaden up first? Let's have a round of applause. Let's wish Jaden the best of luck. So guys, come back here. Come back here, come on. Jaden, face Adam. He's going to get ready to fire. Okay, can you catch it? Go on, Jaden. Go on, Jaden. Go on, Jaden. Oh! It's the wind, so anticipate that, guys. Anticipate. Garv. Where's Garv? This is Garv. There he is. Very, very enthusiastic. Oh, God. Right, Huzaifa. Huzaifa's up next. He's got all the gear. Can he do it? Oh, it's high. Go on, go on. Oh! Unlucky now. We've got Casper. Where's Casper? Take your position, Casper. Get ready. Oh, it's a big one. It's a high one. It's a high one. It's... Oh. Oh, boo, Adam. Boo, Adam at the top there. Alexander. Where's Alexander? Alexander, maybe take the lolly out your mouth, just for health and safety reasons there. Okay, Alexander, are you ready? Oh! So close. Path, where's Path? Okay, Path, get ready. Oh, it's high, it's high, it's high, it's high, it's high. Oh, Path. Now we've got Reese. Where's Reese? Come on, Reese. Let's wish Reese the best of luck. It's fired. Go on, Reese. Oh! Now we've got, hopefully, Clara will save the day. Where's Clara? Come on, Clara. Let's do this. Come on, Clara. Oh, for a brand new Kia car. That's so unfortunate. I'm sorry, guys. But we've got one of the dads here. One of the dads. We don't know his name. He's a mystery dad. Can he do it? Can he do it? Go on, Dad. Go on, Dad. Oh! Oh, it'll have to be a rollover for the brand new Kia car. And we're going to go back to CJ the DJ.
Well, very warm welcome back to the Kia Oval, and the Kia high catch there in the interval. I wouldn't mind a go at that with you.
It looks great fun.
With you.
I'll do that. We can do that as a piece of Surrey content.
Oh,
We'll go out and do the Kia high catch.
And Kirstie could commentate on it.
No, I'm
How
up for
about
it.
that? All right.
I'm not commentating on it.
All three of us could do the Kia high catch.
I'm ready to show you boys up how
I
it's
want
done.
John Surtees out there with us as well. And we could have a celebrity to fire the balls out of the bowling machine at us.
We could have
Brendan
Alex.
McCullum.
Get Alex Stewart in.
Brendan McCullum, he's got a
Yeah.
bit of time on his hands
Bit
now.
more time.
So Daisy Gibbett will be 133 is the target for Surrey, and Bryony Smith is on strike, and Bryony Smith on the back foot punching out towards the covers. Made 54 in no time on Wednesday against Warwickshire, did the captain. Kira Chatley down there at the non-striker's end. I think everybody's wanting Bryony Smith and Kira Chatley to make runs, but I think a lot of people will be looking forward to Laura Harris coming out for a bit of a bat today as well. Bryony Smith again drives into the offside, little bit of shake back in there from Gibb, and there is no run. So yes, I think Surrey would have settled for this, chasing 133 at the toss. And it was extraordinary at 14 for 5. Hampshire, and did well to recover and put 132 on the board, actually. Did Hampshire. And just to reiterate again, a win here for Surrey and they would finish second, which has an impact on who they play in the semi-final, as this tucked away by Bryony Smith into the leg side. She will get a single. Of course, they always say in sport, nobody remembers the side that comes second, but today it's all about that from a Surrey perspective.
Can I be slightly grinchy about the second or third
Yes,
finishing
by
thing?
all means.
Because if you finish second,
Yes, you
you play third. So if Surrey lose and they finish third, they'll play the person who finishes second, which
Yes.
will be the person that'll be third if they win.
Exactly. So really, either way. But I think it's also to do with which dressing room you get.
Well,
There.
why didn't you say that to begin with?
There you are, you see. As that's hitting the pad of Chatley, and then it rolls away into the leg side. Although I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised if, for finals day, Surrey have to move out of their own dressing room. It would seem a little strange.
I think if I was a visiting team, I'd insist on that.
Well, I was trying to remember what happens when Warwickshire have got to the men's finals day, and I'm pretty sure, I might have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure they always stay in their own dressing room for their semi-final. As this is hit firmly off the back foot by Bryony Smith. Won't get a run as Poppy Tullock does the fielding in there at cover. But it would be a bit of a hassle, wouldn't it, moving all your kit out to go somewhere else on your own finals day. But you're right, we've sort of dubbed this as finish second, but even if you finish third, you're going to play the team that finished second. So, but you have to put a headline on this, and that's what we're dubbing it today, the battle for second spot.
The battle for the home changing room.
Indeed. This is down the leg side, wide the signal, and then of course we'll have the men's game tonight. That one's pretty straightforward because Surrey win, they will top the group, which means they will get a home draw in the quarterfinals. And the reason that's the case is because of their win in 7.4 overs chasing on Friday night at Canterbury, which boosted their net run rate by 0.4.
Goodness me.
I know. As this is hit down the ground firmly by Bryony Smith over the top of Datani. Datani goes sliding back and Bryony Smith will pick up a couple of runs. So 5 off the first over of this run chase. Chatley yet to get off the mark and Bryony Smith has 3.
Trying to plot a route to victory for Hampshire. And realistically, it probably has to look quite similar to what Surrey did to them. A number of wickets early. Because if the game, if 120 balls are bowled in this innings, I imagine Surrey will win.
Yes. And if Surrey get going with the bat, we might not have 120 balls. So to Tani it will be to bowl the second over from the Vauxhall end. And Kira Chatley on strike. Naomi Tatani hit the first boundary of the day, and it was a beautiful shot. But then she was that fifth wicket to go with a big top edge off Alice Davidson Richards, I think it was. And Kira Chatley taking the catch as she's flicking this off her hip down towards long leg. And leg by is the signal, so one more to the total, and Chatley just indicating that's come back in from Datani. So Bryony Smith comes on to strike. Played very nicely on Wednesday, Bryony Smith with her 54. But as I say, Kirstie, I think with Laura Harris at 3, a lot of people will be hoping to see a bit of Laura Harris today. She's in form as this is pulled by Bryony Smith. Good shot, that'll be 4. Despite a good effort from McGacken to get round to that. Got a hand to it, but it's firmly struck that by Bryony Smith. And it's the first boundary of this Surrey run chase.
Yeah, struck really well by Bryony Smith. McGacken was flailing an arm. It just had too much power on it and it crosses the boundary line. She's absolutely middled that.
Yeah, again, it made a lovely noise off the bat of Bryony Smith. Short again and pull for 4 more, and that's the wrong line and length from Datani, especially with fine leg on the edge of the circle. That was a bit of a gift for Bryony Smith. Fine leg on the edge of the circle, and you're hip high going down the leg side, and just helped it away down to the boundary rope, did Bryony Smith. So back-to-back boundaries for Bryony Smith. She'll move on to 11. Surrey 14 without loss in this second over. As you can see there, the target 133 for Surrey. Bryony Smith tries to work this one leg side, hits the front pad, rolls back up the pitch, and there's no run. And if you haven't heard the news today, in men's test cricket, Brendan McCullum has stood down as the head coach of the men's test side.
But not the white ball
Not
sides.
the white ball, which sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Because they're going all right in the white ball stuff. Don't get me started on that, though, because I'll start moaning about next week in quarterfinals, as this one's pulled away by Bryony Smith out towards deep mid-wicket. And they will pick up a single.
I think it is a surprise he's staying on with the white ball, because it felt like a sentence that pundits and commentators would say, well, obviously he's either doing all of it or none of it. He wouldn't only just stay for one. And it turns out that's exactly what's happened.
Well, it is a complete rethink, isn't it? Because he was in charge of everything.
Well, he started
And that
with
was
the
a
red
big
ball and not the white
announcement.
ball.
Yeah, exactly. And now, no longer the test head coach is. Ooh, Kira Chatley there was going to ramp, and then decided against it because it was Yorker length, and ended up just prodding it out into the offside. So end of the over, 2 gone, and a solid start, I think you'd say, Kirstie, to this run chase for Surrey.
Yeah, solid start. 15 coming from the first 2. Hampshire have bowled quite tidily, but they don't have many runs to play with, and unfortunately if they leak a boundary per over, it's going to make Surrey's job quite simple.
Sorry, I'm grinning because it was the Bee Gees while you...
Okay,
yes,
right,
yes.
sorry, I thought it was
that
something I said.
No, what you were saying was perfect as always, but it was with the Bee Gees in the background. So, Pix Tyson's coming into the attack. Down there in the distance from the pavilion end in her sunglasses, bowling in her sunnies. Left arm around the wicket. And that just skidded onto Bryony Smith. She was laying back to cut that, I think, and it just skidded onto her. And again, she's just indicating that to Kira Chatley, who gives her the thumbs up, as if to say exactly what you've just indicated to me. As bowled looking to sweep. Took a bit of pace off that. Threw it very early was Bryony Smith. And that's a nice bit of bowling from Tyson. And Bryony Smith goes for 12. Surrey lose their first. And they're 15 for 1. But that looked a lovely bit of bowling from Tyson.
I'm a big Bex Tyson fan. She's a very kind of aesthetically pleasing bowler, traditional left arm spin. The first ball we saw from her was a bit flatter, a bit more pace, but this one, on this occasion, just above the eye line, ever so slightly, bit of drift, a bit of turn, and keeps the stumps in play. You can see why Bryony Smith probably fancied it, just full of a length. Power play, only 2 fielders out, but she's got to go.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of bowling from Tyson. So here we go. Laura Harris makes her way out to the middle. Oh, look, there's a gentleman there. He's either running for Parliament or it's his birthday.
Maybe both.
It could be. Oh. So, just a reminder of those numbers for Laura Harris on Wednesday. I jotted them all down. 81 off 32 balls with 9 fours and 6 sixes. And her 50 in 15 deliveries. Spectacular stuff from Laura Harris. So we know the way she's going to go about this. Laura Harris, her first delivery. Oh, here she goes. Straight down the ground towards long on. And we'll get a single. So she's in form, Laura Harris. It's the first time she's really showed everybody what she's about, Laura Harris, against her former employees, of course, on Wednesday. Chatley sweeping down towards short fine leg. Good over this from Tyson. Great control in this over so far.
I think Hampshire will be quite happy to see Laura Harris out at 3.
Chatley sweeps again, played that really well. That's whistled off to the boundary rope for 4. She got down on one knee and then waited for it to get to her and then swiveled on one knee to play this shot.
It was almost a back foot sweep.
Yeah. Really well played by Kira Chatley. Her first runs, a boundary for Chatley. Quicker ball, pulled away by Chatley out towards the backwards square. And good running from Harris and Chatley. And they get back for 2. So the wicket of Bryony Smith in that over, 3 gone, 22 for 1.
The reason I was thinking Hampshire will be quite pleased to see Laura Harris out here early is it's basically a quick death or a bit of hope provided. You know you need to take wickets quickly, and you know that Laura Harris will, in all likelihood, present an opportunity. And if she doesn't present an opportunity, well, you can get on the bus home a bit quicker, because it'll all be finished.
Absolutely. The nice thing is, though, if she comes off again today, she's taking this into finals day as well, Laura Harris. And let's be very honest about this. Laura Harris is the type of player that can win you a game on her own. 22 for 1. Now, Daisy Gibbs come back into the attack now to bowl to Laura Harris. Harris swings hard at that into the leg side, hits the pad, rolls away, and there's no run. I think the Harris family were all here on Wednesday from what I saw on social media. Some nice family snaps as well.
Well, it's a good week for the Harris family, 'cause Laura would have got the 80 and Grace would have won the World Cup again, I imagine.
Yeah, not a bad week.
Yeah, maybe we need the family in the crowd every game.
Yes. As Gibb is over the wicket. Oh, and Harris, thick outside edge, flashes away down to the third man boundary rope for 4. So, punch of gloves between Harris and Chatley. Big edges on that bat. And that flew off down to the third boundary for 4 runs with third on the edge of the circle. So Laura Harris's first boundary off her third delivery. DJ's in today as well. Didn't have the DJ on Wednesday, I don't think. TV affair, of course. Backs away outside the leg stump, then swings this leg side as Harris doesn't really get hold of it. And it potters out towards deep mid-wicket, and they will pick up a single. One more to the total, 27 for 1.
Well, the women's test at Lords is not going well.
No.
Tammy Beaumont in her final innings for England. Golden Duck.
Oh dear. Well, what do they say? There are no fairy tales in sport.
It's a tricky time for England. They're 6 for 2. Bouchier also out.
Hate to say it, that could be done today. As punched away by Chatley out into the offside. Doesn't time that at all, and there's no run. Yeah, India have been very good. The little bits I've seen of the test match at Lords. Nice hubbub around the ground. 3,000 in. It's probably gone up a bit now, I would have thought, as driving his Chatley back up the pitch, and Gibb does the fielding off her own bowling. But there's been a nice atmosphere about the place today. As I say, after this game, Surrey's men at 6:30 against Essex. All very tight there in that south group of the men's competition. But it's a pretty straightforward equation for the Surrey men tonight. Turned into the leg side by Kira Chatley out there towards deep backwards square, and she'll take a single off the last ball of the over. So 4 gone, 28 for 1. You can see there at the bottom of your screens. Required run rate 6.56, current run rate 7. So Surrey where they need to be. It's quite nice having the DJ back. I slightly missed the sort of disco lights in the dugout on Wednesday down there, and the mashed up tunes. But it was all retro music on Wednesday because it was the retro games, you see.
Lovely. So you felt particularly in your element.
Well, I did, except they weren't really playing much of what I think of as retro music, as swept away by Chatley down towards short fine.
Were you kind of thinking, oh, this can't be retro, these are all just my favourite songs?
Yeah, there was a lot of that, but there weren't that many from the 60s, and there wasn't any Barry Manilow, which I would have as retro, obviously, having borrowed his wardrobe for a number of years, as this is a good shot from Chatley. Straight back over Tyson's head. Nicely played by Kira Chatley. Straight down the ground for 4. Lovely footwork from Kira Chatley. Very positive. And straight as a die. Down the ground for 4 runs. And again, Tyson giving that some air. It came straight down the pitch towards her. Now she's sweeping. Chatley. Oh, and that's a great effort. Oh, I think it's McLachlan out there and got a hand to it, diving away to her left, but could only knock it over the boundary rope. Great effort there, but nicely swept again by Kira Chatley.
He's just skipped off those wicket ends.
Yeah, not easy, is it, out there? All the pitches across the square here. And it's been so hot of late as... Oh, tries to sweep again, does Kira Chatley. Almost yorked herself there. Down on one knee again, and then she's rehearsing playing straight back up the ground, but 8 off this over, so that's fine from a Surrey perspective. Tossed up again by Tyson and hit straight back past her once more by Chatley. Stuck a hand up, but I think it was past her by the time that hand went up. And again, it's very positive footwork from Kira Chatley. So we've had 2 drives straight down the ground and a sweep from Kira Chatley. Nicely struck that, Kirstie.
Yeah, Surrey have found it a lot easier to find the middle of the bat than Hampshire did. I'm wondering if it's maybe just due to their early use of spin. Bex Tyson's a lot quicker than Bethan Miles. Just taking some off there. I think that's just the difference. Surrey were really strong with their seam, and I think Hampshire, if they were just to keep seam into the attack, Surrey have struggled to score their boundaries from there.
Are you surprised we haven't seen Amanda Jade Wellington at all in the power play? Just kind of thinking with Surrey bowled McDonald Gay 4 up front, and when when Wellington does come into the attack, the game, it could be over.
That's it, yeah.
If you bought a shirt, why would you sit with it with the buttons undone?
Because you can look like a windswept model.
I'm not sure about
High in
that.
the sky. 3 very good seats they've got up there at the top of the SSE Energy Solutions stand. Daisy Gibb in for her 3rd over. Attempted slur ball, that's helped on its way, 4 runs. That's a gimme from Daisy Gibb.
I was watching McGacken there. Didn't see it at all and was ducking at square leg. Thought that was going straight towards her and hadn't picked it up at all.
The sun is incredibly bright on those white seats that McCacken would have been trying to pick the ball up out of. I don't think she had any hope of seeing that delivery. Yeah, I do agree with you, Cam, though. I think if you've got any chance, you need to be bowling your best bowlers up front and giving them as many opportunities as you can. Poppy Tulloch's been fantastic for Hampshire with the ball as well this season. I'm surprised we haven't seen her yet.
4 more. The whack bat's being put to good use. Laura Harris just giving herself room and then powerfully just punching the ball through the offside. It's the last over of the power play, and I think we'll see Laura Harris trying to make the most of it.
Yeah, that's a lovely bit of movement with her feet. Width was already there, but she's just given herself enough to be able to find that gap between cover and point.
I should think in this sort of form and this sort of mood, she is horrible to bowl at.
Long on and deep mid-wicket, the only 2 fielders out on the boundary.
Shot.
Harris goes offside again. 4 runs again. 3 in a row now. Got a chance of a 24th the over here for my money.
Well, she's just picked up where she left off on Wednesday. What was interesting was hearing her interview afterwards, where I didn't expect her to say this. She said that she tends to be an overthinker about her cricket and think far too much about it. Because when she bats like this, it just looks so simple, doesn't it? See ball, hit ball.
Four more. 4 in a row. Laura Harris feigned to give herself room there. Stayed where she was. Gibb went to follow her. But instead just got flipped around the corner. 4 fours on the bounce.
It's tough for Daisy Gibb. She's a very young bowler. She's been tasked with opening the bowling and bowling 3 overs back to back against one of the most experienced T20 batters in international cricket.
Look at that bottom hand grip though. Look how strong that bottom hand grip is.
Sneaks through. It shouldn't go to the boundary, but they might be able to get back for 2. Harris does come back. She's going to have a race on her hands. Gets home safely enough. So the run of boundaries is broken. Across this over, Surrey went past their 50. Now 58 for 1. Harris 24 off 9. Strike rate of just over 250.
Yeah, and just thinking ahead to Friday, she sort of hit form at just the right time for Surrey, Laura Harris.
Gives herself space once more. That's gone straight up. Who wants it?
No.
Mid-off? Nope. Georgia Adams never quite got in position. Kirstie White was very confident in the ball there.
Yes.
The sky's been really challenging for fielders today. They just haven't been able to track it and follow it. Those are really difficult catches anyway. Georgia Adams looking over her left shoulder and running and trying to make ground, but
Yeah, it always looked like the ball was going to win that.
Well,
But very hard. Oh, look at these two young men with their 6 and 4 signs. It's a tremendous shirt cap combination there as well.
I was trying to work out what club that was. I
Yes,
assumed it was a cricket club.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, the power play is finished here at the Kia Oval. Surrey 59 for 1. We will see the leg spin of Amanda Jade Wellington now. The problem is she only has 74 runs to play with. So I wouldn't be surprised if she comes on and doesn't come off in effect, and they bowl her all the way through. So Hampshire can have 4 fielders out on the boundary now. However, I don't think that'll be stopping Laura Harris from aiming for the seats. It's a powerfully struck dot ball. She's such an imposing, intimidating figure at the crease.
She just dominates her area, doesn't she?
Goes for the sweep, gets it behind square, 4 more. For all the power we associate Laura Harris with, she's been using the angles today, moving about in the crease, trying to create the opportunity to get the ball behind square, get the ball through where the fielders in the ring are. And that's, what, a 6th, 7th boundary?
Yeah, that's a great shot. Didn't actually try and hit that too hard, just got into position to sweep it away.
Bit of air, and that time hoiked up to long on for a single. And Surrey cruising here. 6 boundaries for Laura Harris, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, she's a fascinating player. She really is. As I say, that bottom hand is squeezing the life out of the whack bat.
Lifted high. Fielder settles underneath the ball, takes it. Well held in the end, out in the deep. And Hampshire have their 2nd wicket.
Nancy Harmon with
Yeah.
the catch. And that deep mid-wicket boundary.
Yeah, she did well there because that's going into the sun again. And a nice catch from Harmon. Made it look pretty straightforward, but coming out of that sun, it's not easy, as we've been saying today.
Gone a long way up. I think Kira Chatley was taking a lead from Laura Harris there, inspired by her partner. I must say, when the ball did go up, I had a moment where I had to catch myself, because I assumed that must have been Laura Harris who'd hit the ball that high. But Kira Chatley has to go, and her team is in a very strong position. Jemima Spence has come out to the middle. She's just had the most impressive coming of age season, as it were. Her sweeps and reverse sweeps, almost every other ball. And these two are a joy to watch batting together. 2 incredibly different styles, producing very similar results this year in runs.
Oh yes, Jemima Spence has had a wonderful summer so far. Still a lot of it to come. Busy old July, busy August, busy September.
Full toss to begin with. Well, that was... Amanda Jade Wellington thought about an appeal there, and I kind of understood where she was coming from. It was a coming together of bat and pad at the same time. And because it was a full toss, it all just didn't look right.
It was almost as if Jemima Spence was going to play her favoured sweep shot and then decided against it.
Very full again, this time tucked away into the leg side. And Spence will get off the mark. 65 for 2 after 7, so Surrey racing along at over 9 runs and over here.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll just see them keep going.
Absolutely, and in a way, if you can finish it early, put your feet up for a little bit longer before Friday. But it's come round very quickly, finals day. And obviously, the men's finals day Saturday, women's finals day Friday here. And Surrey, of course, still have a hand on the trophy going into finals day on Friday.
Georgia Adams into the attack, and there Spence goes for that sweep immediately, and this time finds the fielder. So Hampshire have a glimmer of hope. 2 wickets in quick succession, and from Adams' first delivery she strikes, and Spence on this occasion misses out. She goes for just 1.
Yeah, not giving herself a sighter there. Georgia Adams has a really low slingy arm, comes basically over the top of middle stump. Just doesn't give a lot of angle to work with. It's actually turned into her as well. I don't think she was expecting that, and that's just where she's lost that ability to create some power and keep on top of that ball.
Yeah, that did turn.
It's hells, isn't it?
And fairly looped to backward point, so just got to be a little bit careful here, sorry. Don't want to give Hampshire any sniff of pulling something spectacular out the bag.
Phoebe Franklin comes to the middle.
Very good to see Phoebe Franklin back.
What is her fitness latest? Because I know she obviously didn't bowl today.
Do you know, I don't know. I wonder if it might be she's just playing as a batter.
She starts with a dot ball, pushed out into the offside. She had such a fantastic season last year. She's always seemed to be involved, popping up in important places. She's off the mark with a single down to long on.
Sounds a bit like you.
I'll take that.
You're always popping up in important places.
Well, in places.
Yeah, I would imagine if fit to bowl, she would be used. She's probably still on her return to bowling protocol, but fit for batting and fielding.
That's powerfully struck. Well fielded in the deep. No, Franklin hasn't bowled at all this year. High score of 46 against the Blaze. A couple of red inkers. Hasn't been dismissed for a single figure score yet, just to put the mockers on. Another dot ball, but a calm start so far for Franklin. She knows she has so much time to work with. The required run rate just 5.5. And gets another single, but a good over for Georgia Adams coming into the attack. Surrey 68 for 3 after 8.
Yeah, Franklin, I'm glad to see back in this side. She's been really impactful for Surrey, but also in the 100 she's been a fantastic player that's really just has such a great impact in any side that she's come into. So I think she'll be really looking forward to coming back and playing for My London this year.
So Wellington to continue. Surrey's strength and depth is just so deep with their batting. Davidson Richards down at number 6, always referred to as the adult in the room, to kind of finish off the chases if ever there's any trouble. Franklin on strike to Wellington. That's beautifully bowled, goodness me. That's spun sharply, and I imagine taking a tiny bit of bat it has on the way through. That ball's just looped and dropped onto a length.
Yeah, there is a bit of turn out there now. Saw Georgia Adams get one to turn in her last over.
Big swing out to the leg side for 1 run.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping this heat wave continues next week for the 2 finals days. It's the sort of weather you want for finals day, this.
Well, there's that spin again. He runs through. It looks like the umpire's going to signal byes. He does. But where's this come from, Churchy? We haven't seen this amount of turn from the Surrey spinners.
Isn't it? Well,
When you
maybe
think people
they're
like
just
Moore,
giving-
Moore does
yeah.
tend to spin the ball quite prodigiously.
Might just be giving it a real rip.
Well played. Up to long on. Early forecasts, kind of say 26.
Well, that's fine, isn't it? As long as there's no rain about.
There's rain on the Saturday, so we okay.
Ah, in Birmingham,
65% chance. But I mean,
35% chance it might not then.
we're also so far away. I'm sure it'll be A-okay. Oh, chipped up into the air. Somehow lands safely. I'm not really sure how the ball's managed to travel that far from such a little kind of impact.
It almost came off the back of her bat there. Again, Wellington just getting that to grip a touch. It's good bowling, this.
Hampshire just having a moment. The last 2.5 overs has been theirs. Lifted high. Is long on in the game? No. She can only watch it sail over her head. Phoebe Franklin back into the team, playing as a specialist batter, and that's exactly why. Wellington has been bowling beautifully, getting a lot of turn on the ball, but not enough on that occasion, and Franklin just lifts the ball up over him for 6 runs. Kirstie White, you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I did, and I wouldn't be surprised if the ball before, after just taking that little bit of a chip and that went out to backward point, Laura Harris had just said, just play your game, just relax. And that exactly is her game. Just coming down the ground and hitting over the top. She's got so much power to clear ropes. So hopefully that can settle her nerves and she can continue to accumulate.
Well, that just looked so easy, didn't it?
Well, I assumed long on had to be in the game just because of how easy the swing was. I was like, they can't possibly have generated enough power for that to travel the distance. It ended up pretty much hitting the advertising boarding. So, change of bowling. Tulloch into the attack. Some right arm seam. Harris on strike. And a big heave behind square. That could be 4. And it will be 4. It's been such a productive area of the ground today for Harris. She's somehow just kind of whipping the ball, almost forehand top spinning the ball behind square. Whenever the bowlers get a little bit too straight, as Tulloch did on that occasion.
It hasn't been quite as spectacular as Wednesday, but she's still ticking. 37 off 17 now.
Well, Harris looked to give herself room there. And ended up hoiking it to long on. It wasn't the most elegant of shots you'll ever see.
Yeah, she might need some chalk for the bottom of her bat there, because that was straight off the cue end for a single down the ground. I noticed this morning a lot of England football shirts being worn around town.
I wonder if they haven't been taken off from last night.
Yes, I did wonder that myself.
Four more.
Shot.
Back-to-back boundaries for Phoebe Franklin. Just a bit of width on offer from Tulloch. It's been an expensive start to her spell. She has had a good season this year. 9 wickets. An average of 25, but it's more the economy rate in the low 7s where she's been productive. But on this occasion, she's conceded 9 runs from her first 3 balls.
They hung in the air for a minute. I wondered if backward point thought they were in the game, but it seemed to bisect third and backward point beautifully. They kind of just looked at each other and said, yours.
Well bowled. She props forward Phoebe Franklin and defends the ball out to cover.
Well, I had an awful moment yesterday, Kirstie. I thought I'd sport my Euro 96 England shirt.
Not the grey one.
Classic grey.
Oh,
Yeah, but oh dear, I haven't.
the shirt of doom, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but I haven't put it on for a while, and I put a little bit of timber on.
Ah.
Oh dear,
Goodness me.
I couldn't get it on.
What year was the shirt from?
96. Yeah.
Famous year Gareth Southgate missed a penalty.
Well, the boundaries are flowing for Surrey here. The third of the over. And Franklin, having had a quiet start to her innings, Now on 17 off 11. And that's a bit of a gift, that one. Wasn't the cleanest of connections either. Probably could have even been fielded, but it's 4 runs.
Yeah, and Surrey just flying along now. It's good innings this from Franklin.
Just the 42 needed now.
One run taken. So an expensive start to life at the Oval this afternoon for Tulloch. 14 runs off her first over. And at the halfway stage of the innings, Surrey are 92 for 3 and need just 41 more runs to win.
Yeah, and I think they'll be happy with where they are after 10 overs. Surrey, of course. You can see it there at the bottom of the screen. 41 more required by Surrey. 10 overs to get them. And Georgia Adams bringing herself back into the attack from the pavilion end. She's coming into Phoebe Franklin, who tucks this one into the leg side, and they will stroll a single. Back onto strike comes Laura Harris. She's faced the 18 deliveries so far. Laura Harris. Oh, she's reversing. Oh, that's out. LBW York to south there. Virtually stood up straight to play the reverse. Missed it and was bang in front. And Laura Harris goes for 38. And Surrey 93 for 4, Kirstie.
Yeah, I do think Georgia Adams is a really hard bowler to play square of the wicket to, because she's got such that low arm. It's always getting under the bat, and it's got so full on Harris. It was very, very premeditated, and that is gun barrel straight, middle of middle. See you later, Grace Harris.
Yeah, and Hampshire are hanging in there by their fingertips at the moment, but they'll be very pleased to see the end of Laura Harris. And Alice Monaghan makes her way out to the middle. Of course, Surrey do have that sort of safety valve in Alice Davison Richards still to come. So Monaghan joining Franklin out there in the middle. So yes, I think my shirt shrunk in the wash.
I think
that's
so.
what I'm
There's been
saying
lots
to
of
my
washes to have over the last 30
It's a
years.
while ago, 1996, isn't it? That did me. It was a not a great moment when I tried to put it on.
I'd like to see it either way.
I don't think you would, as this is turned into the leg side by Monaghan, her first delivery. And that trickles off down towards short fine. Nice figures at the moment for Georgia Adams as Monaghan gets off the mark. Just gently easing this one into the leg side and takes a single. Franklin comes back onto strike on 19. Franklin plays this off the stumps. Out into the covers. I think Adams thought she was through her there for a second. Hands went to her head after Franklin had hit that, but I think she thought for a second she might have just got through Phoebe Franklin's cut shot. Single here for Franklin, down the ground. Strolls one more. And end of the over, successful one for Georgia Adams, 95 for 4. Surrey with 9 overs remaining, and what a sight that is. Absolutely glorious day. And I don't know why, when there's a perfectly blue sky with no clouds, things almost look three-dimensional. So they're coming out of the blue sky towards you as you walk up the high street or walk to the station.
Everything's just in Ultra HD.
It is. Well, in real life.
In real life
In
HD.
real life, HD.
It's like 4K.
Yeah, indeed. Tulloch out of the attack, and Amanda Jade Wellington back into the attack, and sweeping from outside her off stump was Franklin. I think that's off the pad down towards deep third. They're going to get back for 3. Just watching buys.
Yeah, that is just
Really
turned
went.
from a length. Yeah, that's done everyone.
Yep, good bit of bowling from Amanda Jade Wellington. So that did spin sharply. Monaghan on to strike for the first time. And again, bit of turn there with these leggies from Amanda Jade Wellington. Pushed away by Alice Monaghan. 35 more needed by Surrey. Monaghan, nicely played. Just eases this again out through the covers off the front foot. Picks up a single, moves on to 2. What Surrey won't want to do here is just get themselves in a little bit of a pickle. They'll just want to get these runs and get the win and secure second spot without any excitement, really. As there's the single down the ground by Franklin, and that brings up the 100. So nice round of applause and a bit of whistling for the Surrey 100 coming up. Monaghan again nicely bowled by Amanda J. Wellington. She wanted to just ease that again through the covers, but a little bit of turn. Final ball of the over. Down the pitch. Oh, Monaghan, and it's beaten the inside edge of her bat, and it's going to run away down to the boundary rope for 4 buys. It did everybody there. Sproul as well behind the stumps. And just for a second, Monaghan would have thought, oh no, going to be stumped here. But it did everybody and runs away down to the boundary rope for 4. That lady very sensibly has brought her own fan to get a cooling breeze. 104 for 4.
A couple of overs ago, I was about to mention how I haven't really noticed Sproul much in this innings, which is usually a good sign of a keeper. She probably hasn't faced or kept much to Amanda Jade Wellington in a match situation with lots of batters in front of her.
Yeah, it's a really good point. As Tyson's back into the attack to bowl the 13th over. I always think that if you're sort of making your debut, or let's say you go and sign an overseas and they come flying in, and then they're, you've only got a couple of days before the game. You've got to get a little bit of practice. You've got to pick them as well as a batter. As a big shout for LBW. Nothing given. Apart from Cameron Ponsonby to my left, who's giving that out as Franklin was looking to sweep.
I think she's just been struck in line there, even though she's moved outside the line of the stumps and for most of her body.
Tyson's in. Oh, dropped it. I thought it was a bump ball. There doesn't seem to be too many hands on heads out there or any great disappointment from Tyson. So I think it was a bump ball. There's a little paddle sweep from Franklin on this occasion down towards short fine. And Franklin moves on to 22. I think we're going to see it again here. It looked like a bump ball. Seeing it again now. Nicely flighted. Oh no, it was a catch. Should have taken that. As pushed by Monaghan. Out into the offside. So that is a life for Phoebe Franklin on 21. And as caught and bowl chances go, it wasn't the toughest for Tyson. Monaghan's down the pitch. Gets it on the full. Drags it down towards long on. Will take the single. So end of the over. 7 remaining, just the 27 required by Surrey. But yes, if you've got you know, a leggy that you've never kept to before. It's really tough, isn't it?
Yeah, and particularly if you've not, you know, you're not kind of up to speed with all of their variations. Oh yeah, Cam, I think you might have been right there. It struck in line with off stump. Phoebe Franklin survives 2 in 2 balls. But yeah, as a wicket keeper, if you haven't had the opportunity to, you know, keep even without a batter in front of you and pick up out from the hand the variations of the bowler that you're facing, and obviously we know Amanda Jade Wellington has plenty of variations. There's that caught and bowled,
that caught and bowled chance again. Ooh, a sudden glimpse of us there. This is cut away by Monaghan. Start of the 14th over. And Monaghan moves on to 4. Franklin comes back on to strike on 22. And just a reminder, at one stage, Hampshire, batting first, having won the toss, were 14 for 5 as well. That's absolutely done. Phoebe Franklin there. Amanda Jade Wellington. It's either the googly or the one that just goes straight on. And was looking for an expansive sort of inside-out drive and hit the inside edge of a bat. Nicely bowled again from Amanda Jade Wellington. Lovely control. Very fine bowler. As that does turn again. Giving it a proper old rip today.
Yeah, I think this pair just need to take a little look at the scoreboard and realise that Wellington's got 3 balls left in her spell. And then she's done. So see her off. Be a bit gritty. Get the job done.
That's a better shot from Franklin. Let it come to her and played it with a horizontal bat through cover point for a single. Franklin's on to 23.
I'm sure you're going to want to take this as deep as possible, which is what Surrey will be trying to avoid.
As you can see at the bottom of your screen, just 25 required. That is the googly, and that bounces and turns and beats the inside edge. Beautifully bowled again by Amanda Jade Wellington. Really, really top class stuff, this. Last ball of her spell, and driven by Monaghan, stuck out her hand. Did Amanda Jade Wellington. 1 for 20 today. Outstanding bowling. 109 for 4.
Close, only 24 more runs for Surrey to get, but I need some super fans to get them over the line. So what do you reckon, guys? Come on, let's get it.
Come on, Surrey! Come on, Surrey! Come on, Surrey!
Come on, Surrey.
There we are, couple of super fans there. Yes. Supporting Surrey. I got the general gist, as this one's just pushed straight back up the pitch by Monaghan. It's Georgia Adams back into the attack to bowl the 15th over. Down the pitch goes Alice Monaghan. Hauls this away out towards deep mid-wicket. Just get the single. One more to the total. 110 for 4. Those two young men seem to be having a lovely day. And one of them was the club cricketer. We were saying, I wonder what shirt and cap that is.
I was trying to work it out again. It was beyond me.
Yes, as this is cut away by Franklin. And I've completely lost that. And they've gone through for a single. Is that a chance? It's definitely a chance for a run out.
The ball's been cut towards the point where it skipped off the surface and not striking the fielder in the chest. Then there was a confusion in the middle, and all of a sudden there was a run-out chance, which was ultimately missed.
Sweeping. Ooh, off her stumps is Monaghan. It's a good job she got a bit of bat on that. Pick up one more. Moves on to 7. 21 more to win. Franklin goes way outside her off stump and sweeps for 4. Brilliant bit of batting. Went way outside her off stump there and just swept it as clean as a whistle. One bounce and away for 4. Kirstie, this is a lovely bit of batting.
Yeah, it is, and I think this is one feature in the women's game that's becoming more and more dominant, where just the use of the width of the crease to change the angle and increase those boundary scoring options has been really, really particularly dominant from Surrey. It's something they do a lot, but you see a lot in the women's game now.
Well, end of the Georgia Adams over, so 5 to go, just the 17 required by Surrey. And it would need something pretty spectacular now from Hampshire to pull this out the bag. And all Surrey all want to do is find the 17 runs and get the win, which will mean they'll finish behind Hampshire in second spot. But as Cameron so rightly pointed out, it is really the battle for the dressing rooms, because even if you finish third, you're going to play the team that finished second, and if you finish second, you're going to play the team that finished third.
Tyson to complete her 4 overs. Nice dot ball there, just lost her line. Just helped round the corner, but straight to short fine leg. And that's
well
beaten
taken.
everyone again. Pippa Sproul's been having a bit of a difficult time keeping to Wellington. Understandably, the ball's been really leaping out of the surface. Sharp piece of work there. Down the track. And Monaghan hasn't quite got going here. She's 8 off 17. Given the game situation, that's not a problem. Keep plodding along. You just need 16 more singles and you'll be home. Full toss. And there's one of those 16 singles, so 15 to go now.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic occasion here on Friday, finals day. Last year was terrific. Of course, though, last year Surrey went straight into the final. But this year, it's the 2 semi-finals and then the final.
There's that sweep shot, this time from Monaghan rather than Franklin. Well fielded in the deep. Manages to keep it to just 1 run. It's fantastic work. They're just eking this game along, Hampshire. Short but cramped Franklin for room. So good over from Bex Tyson to finish her 4 overs. 1 for 24, exactly a runnable. Her economy rate, 16 overs gone. 4 to go, 119 for 4. 14 to win. Kirstie, would they be minded to try and get this done in the next 2 overs, or is it just a case of play the rest of the match on autopilot and you'll get home somehow?
Yeah, I think there's value in being gritty. You know, Hampshire are trying to make it difficult for themselves. If they're looking to Friday, then actually just having the mentality of just being able to dig in and score and still have intent, but not, you know, not run past the ball or throw their wickets away. And it's a really good opportunity moving into the semi-finals.
It's just nudged up to long on. They are doing these in singles currently at the moment, Surrey. No boundaries required. Won't be any temptation for George Adams to start bringing fielders up into the ring. Now we see Franklin hop across her stumps again. I think about 2, but decide against it.
I think as well that the win here over Hampshire will just give them that huge step of momentum into the semi-final and give Hampshire a few things to go back to the drawing board and be thinking about. Their top order batters have not fired today.
That's landed safe, just about. Monaghan was lucky in that she didn't catch the ball cleanly at all. A better contact, and Harmon would have been in the game in the deep.
Well, at the moment it's looking like Surrey will be playing the Blaze in their semi-final.
It's a beautiful shot. 4 more for Phoebe Franklin, who's seeing her team home here. Just a bit of width on offer from Adams, but with the spin we've been seeing from the off-spinner, it's not an easy shot to come across it and punch that ball through the offside.
Yeah, so I think with the table, if Surrey win this, it'll be Hampshire playing Durham, and then Surrey playing the Blaze in the semi-finals.
Worth noting also as well the number of players that will be available again for Surrey
Yes.
for this final.
Now that's huge, isn't it?
Alice Capsey, Tilly Courtine Coleman, Sophia Dunkley. Who am I missing? Danny White Hodge.
Danny White Hodge. Unlike the men, of course, who are going to be missing
On
their
Wednesday.
England international players. Yes. Well, I've never known them to release them to allow them to play, because you'd think that Sam Curran and Will Jacks will be fully involved in the one-day series, so I think they'll miss finals day as well if they get there. Which is a bit of a joke, really, but it has ever been thus. It has ever been thus.
It does also mean for Blaze, I don't know whether Nat Siverbrunt's fitness status is fit enough, whether she'll return, Tammy Beaumont will return.
Well, it's the way it should be. If
Yes,
this is
absolutely.
your showpiece domestic finals day, you want your best players playing. But as I say, unfortunately, the men's side of things, there'll be a few missing.
So 6 runs to win, and Tulloch back into the attack. Franklin on strike, and there's 4 of them. A beautiful touch from Franklin, takes her to 39, and takes Surrey to just 2 runs away from victory here against Hampshire, and to confirm their rightful status as home dressing room finals dayists.
Yes.
And I do that. There is value in that. To have
definitely.
your literal home comforts.
Absolutely. I don't know quite if it's first, fourth is the first semi and second, third is the second semi. I'm not quite sure how that all works. But there'll be sort of 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and then, of course, the final in the evening.
Right, 2 to win. We've seen George Adams call everyone in from the boundary, so all 9 fielders in the ring. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, and as I say, that finals day last year was tremendous. It really was. Great occasion. Same day as the Lionesses won the Euros as well. So it was all happening, all at the same time.
Wasn't the penalty shootout happening as
Yes,
at the,
it
at
was.
the final
Absolutely
throws?
was, yeah. Yeah.
Bunted up the ground. There could be a run-out chance here.
Well,
But no, instead scores are now level. And it'll be over to Alice Monaghan to do the duties of scoring the final run.
yeah, and it's been a good performance this from Surrey. Done what they had to do.
And there it is. Surrey round off their group stage with an impressive victory over the table toppers Hampshire. 6 wickets is the margin of victory here at the Kia Oval, and it's another very, very impressive performance by Johan Myberg's team. Phoebe Franklin playing as a specialist batter so far this season, seeing her team home with 40 not out, and it means Surrey will finish their 12 games group stage with 8 wins, 3 losses and 1 tie. And overall, Mark Church, they'll go in to that finals day on Friday in the home dressing room and feeling pretty confident off the back of their, well, weeks and months of work.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, that they're going into that off back-to-back wins, beating Warwickshire and then beating Hampshire today, so they'll be going into that semi-final against the Blaze feeling confident, I would have thought, taking nothing for granted. And I think, Kirstie, you would say today they've just got the job done, haven't they?
They've got the job done with 14 balls to spare, so if you take into account what they probably could have gone on to put on the board if they were batting first with those 14 runs left, they'd be looking at maybe 160, 170. So yeah, lots of confidence to take from that performance with bat and ball.
Well, you see both Monaghan and Phoebe Franklin walking off the pitch with a win under their belts. So we're expecting will be the 4 finals day participants, be Hampshire, Surrey, the Blaze and Durham. If it's not going to be Surrey, where's your money? Where's your money, Mark Church and Kirstie White?
Well, even though Hampshire have finished top and have played some great cricket in the competition, that would have sort of dented it a bit. So they've got to turn themselves around for Friday. I think it'll be a tough game against the Blaze, but look, what I would say is Surrey know how to go about winning on finals day. But this year will be a bit different, Kirstie, in the fact that, as I say, last year they went straight into the final. This year they've got to get through a semi and then get through that and then the final. So it's going to be a different experience, finals day for them. But I think to have the game at home and have your own dressing room and all that, I think it's a huge thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if Blaze have a day like they're capable of, they could certainly be in that final. Hampshire will have Lauren Bell and Maya Boucher to return back into the squad as well, so again boosting their bowling and batting lineup. I think Surrey will really back themselves. It'll be hard dropping players to bring those 4 or 5 players back
it's
in.
tough on that, isn't it?
But you know, it's the nature of the beast, and it's been a team effort to get this squad to where they are on finals day.
Well, here is the scorecard from the first innings the second innings now. We've swapped over. Surrey's winning run chase. They got off to a pretty steady start between Bryony Smith and Kira Chatley, but as ever, it was Laura Harris who brought the fun. 38 off 19, including 4 boundaries in a row off 1 Daisy Gibb over. And Hampshire they had a flicker, they had a moment where Jemima Spence went, and after Kira Chatley had gone just before, I believe that was the right order of events, and you thought just for a second they might have been able to force a result. And I think it's worth emphasising how impressive a victory this is for Surrey. Hampshire have won 7 matches in a row. They're unbeaten in 9. And so basically, welcome them to the venue where the finals day will be, in 5 days' time, and give them a bit of a thrashing. Remember, they were 5 for 4, Hampshire. 5 for 4 and 14 for 5, I believe. And there you do see the bowling card. And now the match summary. So there's the tail of the tape. Surrey needed 17.4 overs to reel in Hampshire's tally of 132. McDonald Gay, so impressive with the ball yet again. She bowled all 4 of those overs up top all the way through. And Bethan Miles, potentially her best performance in a Surrey shirt so far. 3 for 22 for her. Norgrove made a very fine half century. That, along with Pippa Sproul, kind of gave Hampshire a bit of hope. I do believe we're going to have an interview down at the big screen.
Well, fresh from a fantastic performance with the ball and a fantastic performance for Surrey, I'm delighted to be joined by Rhianna McDonald-Gay. Rhianna, what a statement against one of your fellow final days teams to end the group stage.
Yeah, I think it was amazing. You know, we went out there and really set the tone with the bowling, and I think we put so much pressure on. And yeah, today was such a great day. I think the team had an exceptional performance, and I think it's good to carry this momentum forward into finals day.
And how psychologically important is it that you've beaten a team that I think had won 7 in 7 right before finals day on Friday?
Yeah, I think it's great, you know, to beat top of the table. They've worked really hard and they've made some really good performances this season. So I think, you know, that's not to go unnoticed. So I think, yeah, we're really proud of how we played today, and to beat the top of the table, that's great.
And some players on our side coming into some great form just in time for the big dance on Friday. Yourself, obviously Laura, after her performance, Warwickshire, and then of course today as well, Phoebe back and batting beautifully. All seems to be coming together very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I think everyone's making their contributions, which is really nice. And to have a team performance like that really shows how strong we are as a team and how well our players can play.
What happens for you guys now between now and Friday?
I think we'll have a couple of days off, a couple of days of training, and then get ready to go for Friday.
And how excited is everyone to be back here at the Kia Oval for that finals day and a chance, of course, to defend your title?
Yeah, so excited. I think, you know, to play here, the energy is so amazing. So, and like, you know, home ground and get the changing rooms, and the pitch is amazing. I think, yeah, everything here is so good. So everyone's really, really ecstatic.
And finally, on your form, obviously a great way to finish the group stage. When you get on a roll with wicket taking, you really do, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Like, I love that. That's great. So, yeah, personally, like, I think getting back into a good rhythm. So that's really nice for me to feel good before finals day.
Well, you're 3 for 13 today, obviously setting the tone in that incredible power play in the field. I'm delighted to say you are our Kia player of the match, and I've got Neve and Rory here to present you with your Kia plushie. Rihanna McDonald-Gay, today's Kia player of the match.